live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio. It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 510.
Hey, buddy!
What's going on?
I'm happy. What's going on with you? Happy anniversary.
No, thank you.
How many years have you been married to your lovely wife? Half of the Bart Merrick team, Crystal Van.
It's complicated.
So I'm a fucking pro. Do you see how I did that?
Yeah,
I slipped all that in there.
11. This is the 11 years is what she recognizes.
Right.
And what we tell people.
It's almost like Middle Eastern countries, they don't recognize each other as being a citizen state. She only recognizes that you guys have been married for 11 years, but technically you have been married for 12?
Yeah, legally. Yeah.
Well, but if you've been married for 12, then legally, then you have to go with what's legal.
No, we've been over this. She won't recognize the first goof marriage at the Predators game as the marriage she wants.
Well, no, that wasn't the ceremony, but you've been married 12 years.
Legally, yeah. Listen, I've stopped caring about that.
I mean, I just think you're getting in your own way.
Don't say you stopped caring.
You know what?
You're getting in your own way. You have to
start
go
a
with
podcast
what's
called Semantics.
Yeah, write that down. That's really good. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. It's show number, I don't fucking know. 509. It's show number 509.
Yes.
And who would have thunk that we'd make it to even show 10? Let alone
actually 510.
Oh, it is?
Is it 510?
Is it 510?
My notes from last week say 509.
No,
so yeah.
my God. Butler, did you get that wrong?
I maybe I did.
Yeah, you got it wrong.
I think I did.
Punish him. Drink that entire jug of
Gasoline
whiskey.
bottle.
We're going to do a shot right now. The shot that we're doing today, let me get some shot music. I don't even know if I
Why'd
have
you guys
any.
buy more liquor?
Hey, I tried telling you guys this last week, and then everyone called me mom. So you buy whatever the hell you want. Waste your money.
You a lot better looking than my mom. Bigger titties.
Too far.
What?
Let's
do a shot. Ready? Here we go.
I don't want to drink to this shithead.
What the hell? Hold on. Technically is a shithead. Well, actually, shit on
We're gonna
someone's
do a
head.
shot. Flippy. All right.
All right, here's to the white clouds of glory, to the flaming fires of hell, to the epic cruise that awaits us, and that time Rob Shampoo fell. Rock and roll.
Shit,
Get well, Bill McKay.
Remember when Rob?
Show them the bottle, not even a bottle, the can of whiskey we're drinking out of.
That's a little.
Oh, that is disgusting.
It's not disgusting.
It's a little fireball-y.
Without
It's
the
like-
fire.
Yeah.
It's like Fireball without the fire. It's
What
just
is
like
this?
sweet.
Stillhouse, America's finest.
Is
It's in
this
an oil
this
jug.
face is not a good. That's not a good face.
It was on the bottom shelf.
It's spiced.
It was
cherry.
the bottom shelf. We went for the bottom shelf.
It's
Can everybody see that? I don't know if they can see that on Twitch.
I've had
like,
worse.
It's like
Here's
cinnamon and Dimetap.
Yeah, here's what we're drinking today. Stillhouse, America's finest spiced cherry whiskey. Stillhouse is distilled in a traditional copper still, then charcoal filtered for superior quality and taste, allowing the natural sweetness of the corn to shine through. Our mellow flavor and smooth finish make this a truly versatile clear spirit. Corn whiskey infused with spiced cherry liqueur.
Oh, it's the cherry.
I'm going to barf.
That's what it is.
So there it is. That's
Yeah,
what we're
cherry's
drinking.
bad.
And if you know a spirits company, because we're going to keep trying them until we get one, Yow! We're going to keep trying them.
Okay.
I'm trying to swat these flies. We're going to keep trying different spirits and talking about them on the show every week until we land a new liquor sponsor that can sponsor. And then we'll bring back the, we'll make a whole new song. Or something.
Yeah.
I feel like having an out-of-body experience after drinking that.
Something's going on with Twitch. Everyone's saying that our audio and video are off.
It'll probably
That's too bad.
Fix itself. So
Refresh.
real quick, I'll announce the winners of our Claw Me contest. Christina Filter actually is the winner.
That was a last-minute entry.
Yeah.
We actually have 2 winners for that.
Okay.
I have Tony Palmiotti picking the second one.
All right.
Okay.
Uno memento.
Yeah. He'll tell you. But
we have 2 winners.
So it's 2 winners for the White Claw, and then, I'm sorry.
We'll find the second one.
And then Dan Paul for the Humidor contest. He is our winner for that, thehumidor.com, which is ABC company, and they do cigars. And if you go to thehumidor.com and order cigars, use promo code Tom, which will send them a little bit more of a special prize.
There you go.
But goddamn, that wall of claw, that
That's
filters,
impressive.
Pretty impressive.
I thought it was photoshopped at first. I thought it was just they photoshopped a wall of White Claw. If you search the hashtag Claw Me, but it's how tall is that? 6 by 8?
Definitely 6 something.
Who
because it
counted
was
the?
way
Did
taller
anybody
than
count the
her.
cans?
386.
386 cans.
And then it was just from the
One night.
With like how much
One
time?
night.
Did it take to
Unbelievable.
do that? But it's basically a wall of claw that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Well done.
do
Congratulations for being our winner. It's also for somebody that likes, like if you have OCD, if you like patterns or something like that, when you look at that wall of claw, the way that they designed it is it's
aesthetically pleasing to your mind.
like when I watch it, it relaxes me. Like we were, Travis and I were talking about it this morning. When you just look at that,
a row has all the same flavors, so it's not just random.
and they're all stacked
And they're all
up.
straight. Labels
and
to
all
the
the
front,
labels are
colors
perfect.
coordinated.
So when I look at it, I'm just like, There's like something very pleasing about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, congratulations, and thank you for obviously supporting our sponsors and doing that, and you'll win some stuff.
What is negative flowers?
Oh, Negative Flowers. I threw that on the list because I thought of an idea. Do you have that website, Sam? Or do I need
What?
to go to it? I need to pull up this website. Okay, so I'm laying in bed and I'm getting high. That's what I do when I get in bed. I get high and then I just kind of lay there and think about stuff. And I thought about, I was like, you know what'd be cool is when like people do stuff that's bad to you, if you can send them like a shitty bouquet. And I was like, I think probably somebody's done that, but maybe not. Maybe it's one of those ideas that only I'm thinking of at this time, and it would be a great idea. I was like, but like I want it to be done. Like one of the things that I think Tom and I both gravitate to is when you spend a lot of effort for something that's meaningless.
Or
you know?
stupid,
Like
yeah.
we love it, you know. And I was thinking, but it was so the bouquet. Like the roses would, in my mind, I was envisioning like dead roses, but I want it to be like really well done.
Okay.
You know, like I want the box to be made of like some sort of like cardboard that once you open it, it starts fucking falling apart on your floor, like shredding itself. Kind of like the Banksy painting. And then I thought, you know, the flowers, they have to be like dead roses, but there has to be like a shitty ribbon tied around it. There has to be the secondary flowers, you know, the little, you know, whether it's the little
garnish.
the fern, you know, that you get from Pearson, Florida and stuff like that. So it's got to, but that's got to be dead too. And I want them immediately, I want that fern to be depositing seeds all over your carpet. You know, like.
They have versions of this.
Right.
They have, you can send someone literal shit in a box.
Yeah, but I almost think that that's too far.
And you could send people, I know that some guy made a company where you send glitter in an envelope.
Yes.
So you open it, and it actually it was funny because that company actually started as the purpose of it was to sell an idea of a company that didn't even exist and manipulating local news and the whole news media structure to do this and then sell a company that wasn't even a thing. And some guy did it where she started like glitter in an envelope and then started getting it in blogs, and the local news picked it up, and local news got one like, you know, CNN story behind it. And then he was able to sell this company for like $100,000 or whatever. There was nothing. It was just an idea and no one one's actually like it had no infrastructure or like whatever, but he successfully sold it using the media as a platform to promote it. But I'm sure there's lots of things where you could send people, shit boxes or glitter.
And we're live
Yeah.
on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. I reset it, guys. It should be working great
I
for
had
you
to
now.
reset mine. You
Yeah,
know what I want? I want an edible arrangement that's weed edibles.
That,
I'm sure they do that where it's recreational.
Do you know
right?
who's doing that?
Who?
The same person, friend of the show that created her own edible company,
Ah,
Tiffany Martin.
She's doing
Yeah,
That's
that.
how she
Damn it.
started. She started doing
She's
like
doing the CBD vitamins.
cookies that were in an edible arrangement, but they were weed cookies.
Yeah.
That's how she started, and then she kind of gravitated to the edibles. I'm looking for this
Just
website.
ate all of the rest of hers last
They're
week.
Thanks
good.
for sharing, bud.
Yeah, he did.
I handed some out. Like, who
No,
wants this bag?
This motherfucker gave me one,
Yeah.
and then took a whole sack full home.
And then I'm virtually certain Tiffany did not understand the legality. She was like, now I'm a manufacturer of these. I could travel with them. I'm like, I'm not sure that.
Nah.
Whatever.
It's
Free
fine.
edibles. I like them.
Keep bringing them.
I got to find this website, though, because they have... Oh, God. See, there's a lot of them now. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's called The Payback. So there's this website. So I started, I got into a hole. I took my sleep mask off, and I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. I'll jot it down. At the very least, we can fucking talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So then I start doing research because I'm like, I'm positive somebody's done it, but are they going to do it the way that I want it done? So then I wander onto this website, and I'll show everybody on Twitch. It's called thepayback.com. And they have, you can get a half a dozen dead wilted roses for $20, 1 dozen dead wilted roses for $24, 2 dozen dead roses for $34. And then they go down, they got all kinds of stuff. But then they've branched out. They have a lot of different things. They have anonymous emails, anonymous letters, dead fish and flowers, fake bullet holes, fake parking tickets. They
the
do
bullet hole thing, you're a little into threatening.
they do the gag lottery tickets, personalized prank emails, but then they had like these anonymous letters that you could send. So I went here first. So one of them is Mean Boss, and there's different versions you can buy. And I think all of them are about $20 is the price point for everything. But this one is Mean Boss. There's a naughty version and then a nice version. And the naughty version says, "Dear," let's say Tom, because Tom is, Samantha and Travis's boss. So am I, but, we lean heavier on the Tom thing. Only because it means a lot to Tom. It fucking means nothing to me. So, naughty version. So it'd be like, "Dear Tom, it is not known what junior college you received your education from, but it's obvious that you did not gain any schooling on people management. Your managerial skills are so poor that your employees are surprised that you have survived this long in the corporate world. Sometimes they question the intelligence of this company for hiring such an incompetent ass such as yourself." That's just like a version of it.
Yeah, you send this to your boss. Although, is any of this effective to what? Like, this is all just revenge, or like just to?
But
does
no,
it mean
no,
is
not
it-
all of it. That we're getting to that.
Like, if I got this letter and say it's anonymous,
Well,
like,
who said you? I mean, let's say when you
yeah.
get this
Well,
letter.
first I either know it's from Travis or Samantha.
No,
or Tony.
not necessarily.
Well, we know.
And then
Yeah. I mean, most likely it's going to come from Tony. I mean, we all know
no
that.
way.
Oh, yeah.
He loves Tom.
I don't know. You should talk to him yesterday. He changes with the wind.
But also,
Tony, I'm joking.
what does it actually accomplish? That's the whole thing.
Well,
It's like,
because maybe that one may not work.
Okay.
But it might. Like when you were working at Home Depot, would you have sent that? Would we have sent that to one of our contemporaries when we worked for Clear Channel or iHeart?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
But
send it to him now.
then it started. So I saw that when I'll be honest with you, I had the same thought when I was on the website. I was like, is that really going to do anything? It's probably just going to piss your balls off more, right? And he's going to know who the fuck did it. He's going to fucking come and fuck your ass.
Or he just punts it in the trash and moves on with his day. If it's anything like me,
I don't know.
I don't care.
I mean, most of those guys have egos. I think it would bruise their ego a little bit to know, like, which one you might get one of those scenarios. Hey, if somebody owns up to it, no harm, no foul.
Well, look,
But we're staying in this room until, like,
We ain't staying nowhere.
Do you-
I wish a motherfucker would tell me I can't leave a
First
room.
person to walk out did it. You're fired.
No, I'm clocking out when my time is up. Thank you, sir.
now
No, don't ever clock back in.
you bring up
You're
a good
done.
point, though.
Bye.
And there's a dead fish in your trunk.
We'll go back to this, but
I shit in your gas tank.
do dickhead bosses
God.
know they're dickheads?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, okay,
I think
so
they like it,
if they know,
but there's probably different.
then letting them
class-
know does not any sort
There's
of.
probably different ones though. There's the one who's a dickhead, doesn't know he's a dickhead, and then this will hurt his feelings and he'll cry. And then there's guy that gets off on being dickhead who, if he got this, would frame it.
Yeah. Or just be like, oh, my job is done.
Yeah.
There are bosses, their manager style is like, I want to be
But it's
the
not
person
all
everybody's
bosses.
afraid of.
And this is what I wanted to tell you. So the boss one, we might argue about. But then there's a bunch of other ones that you can, these letters that you can send to people. One is for body odor, always late, annoying coworker, bad haircut, pest, and mean police officer
Well,
are the
don't
categories.
Mean
do it to
police
somebody with a bad haircut. They're already suffering with a bad
The bad haircut one.
that's not even.
Here's the naughty version.
You're just being a dickhead at that point.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, this guy's. I
I mean, you're a good person, but
Fuck
your
you,
haircut
you
sucks.
got a bad haircut.
Yeah.
Also, believe me, from a person that had a bad haircut for years of my life, I was well aware of it. Just telling me is like,
no,
all
you
right,
weren't, but you never changed it.
I couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
until
you could have.
He was aware. He didn't care.
I know.
He
I
wasn't aware.
I went
told
to
him every week.
20 different barbers, and then none of them could do.
It's
you went to
not that
shitty
fucking
barbers.
hard.
It apparently was because until I went to Liberty, then they fixed it.
You
and
had low quality barbers.
Yeah, you
before.
hit like every great clips between here and your house.
I went to the one that you started going to in Baldwin for a while, and they did give me the
Yeah,
Suge.
they did give you the Suge.
and you were like, "Hey, this place is good. Don't go to the." And
They
I'm
were,
like, all right.
they
And
were
I showed up
good,
Suge.
but you told them, you're like, oh, just cut it how I've always been cut it. Shape my head like a cock. Can you please tuck? Can you please tuck my hair above my ears like a like the head of a dick?
My wife even went with me to some Paul Mitchell fucking place, and then she's like, "I don't believe you're telling him the right thing," and I'm like, "Well, then come with me."
Can you give me the dickhead, please?
My wife, as a grown adult, came with me. I sat down in the chair, and she was like, "Can you do this?" And they're like, "Yes."
Did you bring a photo?
Stooge.
Sometimes photos help.
But it is
I
embarrassing when you're like a fat dad and you sit in the chair and they're like, so what do you want to do today? And you like show a picture of Ryan Gosling. You know? And they're like, I can't fucking do anything.
Just do
with
the
it.
hair that
Yeah,
way.
but girls do that. But when guys do that, oh, for shame.
Well, at least then when they fuck it up and give you the stooge, you can be like, look at the mirror. Look
I
at
had
this.
to do
This
that.
does not look like what I asked you to do.
I did that with my barber John because I wanted to go away. I've had like a classic haircut with a hard part or even a razor part at times for like the last 4, almost 5, maybe even 6 years. And I was like, I think I want to do something a little more textured because I'm wearing a helmet more. I'm a scooter because Baldwin people can't drive worth a shit.
Yeah.
And with a helmet, it's a lot easier for me to mess it up and and that way I can still look presentable for meetings and shit like that. So I showed him a picture of some celebrities in 2019. Samantha was making fun of me because I Googled
Oh yeah.
in style haircuts men 2019. She's like, and I'm like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
You're fine.
But I got a lot of compliments on it.
Yeah, it looks
But
good.
at least I didn't let you giving me shit, which rightfully so. I enjoy that. At least I didn't let it deter me from showing him the picture because he did a nice
Right,
job, and I got a lot of compliments. And people were like, "Oh, great idea! That works out good." Except for Maisie, who repeatedly will point at my hair and go, "Goofy."
No.
I think Andrea had
She'll get used to it,
something to
though.
do with it, but Goofy. Does she even know what that means other than a Disney character? Anyway.
She must.
Bad haircut. This one's good because you're supposed to put we would have put Dear Tom's Barber. You need to get your eyes checked by a licensed eye doctor because something is terribly wrong with your hand-eye coordination. Perhaps you have the shakes. I could have cut my own hair with a blindfold on and done a better job. So basically, it's like that sort of thing. But they have a lot of these things. One of them is you can send a dead fish to somebody.
Okay.
I think that's a threat from the mafia.
Yeah, I didn't think that you were allowed to do that, right?
I
thought
think you can.
I thought if you put a dead fish in a box and send it through the United States Postal Service that you're doing something wrong, right?
I know. I think you could send a fish.
You can send a melted box of chocolates.
Yeah.
You can send the bad breath package. You can send mouthwash, toothpaste, and one of the letters.
That's just
Body odor package comes with soap, deodorant, and a letter, and then it says on the outside of the envelope, it says something like, you smell like a zoo. That's not nice.
It's not a zoo. B.O. smells like a Italian sub. It's a very oniony.
Yeah.
It's nothing like a zoo.
I like it. Like when my wife has
Zoo
a little
smells like
bit of it,
animal
like when
shit.
she's worked out, I like it. It's like she's releasing
Pheromone.
pheromones, and I want to like eat that sweaty.
The body odor thing, though, I kind of feel bad for people that have bad
It
body
depends.
odor.
Some
Yeah.
people, though,
Everybody
they can
here's
help
had
it.
body odor, right?
I don't
No.
really have body odor.
Yeah,
A
I
lot of
think-
people don't.
I don't.
A lot of
wife-
people don't.
I don't really sweat.
A lot of
so-
people don't. Like, it takes a lot. Like, I can go, even on a camping trip, I can go like a solid 4 days, like without deodorant and not stink. Like, I'm not gonna smell fresh. I'm
Do
not
you
gonna
sweat a lot?
I used to when I
'Cause
was
I like barely
when I
ever
was
sweat.
drinking a lot.
So-
It wasn't the caffeine as much as it was the alcohol.
Yeah, you're sweating
Yeah.
it out
See,
the
I
next day.
sweat,
day.
but
Yeah.
I stopped using antiperspirant like 15 years ago, so I only use deodorant, and it opens up your
Ew.
pores. They're not all blocked anymore, so I don't have
Ew.
stinky ass sweat. It's
Oh,
fucking
We have
Yeah.
a caller on the line. He called 5 times in a row. You can guess who it is.
Who?
EJ.
Line 2.
Hey, thanks for calling a mediocre time. Who's this?
This is Zack from Ohio.
Oh, wow. We've never done a live Zach from
Live
Ohio.
Zach.
What's going on, Zach?
Oh, the Super Bowl. Okay, so I have a story here. I just booked a hotel for the night that our flight gets in before the cruise.
Yeah.
Can you please
And-
shut up your dog?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
Thank
Let me
you.
close the door here.
Go
Yeah, so
outside
I
with the
booked-
cicadas are, because people love that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to run outside.
Yeah, people love it when you go
Quickly.
outside. They're like, oh, man,
They
his
do love
audio
it,
quality
yeah.
is so clear.
All right, so I was like, it's just one night. I'm going to get something cheap. I looked around. So I booked the Econo Lodge by the by the Florida Mall. which I was told is
No,
where
don't do
people-
that.
I was told
Cancel
people
it
get hookers
immediately.
there.
Comes with
Okay, so I
AIDS.
should cancel that?
I used to work by the Florida Mall.
I know exactly where you're staying. Don't You might
yeah.
not want to stay there, buddy.
I know that one, too.
It's all 100% either drug or domestic violence calls all night.
a lot of drugs.
All the
Yeah.
bed bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't sleep
really
there.
fucking shitty then. So I guess I should cancel this and book a new hotel.
Well,
I would.
I mean,
I know.
Well, see, I'm glad
You got to
I'm
book
glad
one
that I mentioned it
right
on
down
the
the.
BDM page.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Tom. I apologize.
Right down the street, down OBT. There's a street called Holden and OBT.
Yeah.
Or Silver Star is a pretty good area.
That's further away, though.
Try and book around Silver Star,
Yeah.
Holden,
Don't listen
OBT.
you'll know it's
around
safe
that-
because Silver Star, Sheriff, Star Badge,
yeah,
totally
yeah.
safe.
So move towards that direction.
Well, he's pretty close to holding an OBT.
And whatever you
right
do,
now.
drive around in circles with your windows down and slap the roof of your car going, hey, hey!
You're.
People love that.
But the thing is, he's going to have a percentage of confused tourists that also book that hotel. So, and those are not going to kill you.
No, there's no tourists where he's going.
Yeah.
And it's not in the tourist area, dude.
I know.
This is an extended stay where people live. This is where poor people
seasonal.
live.
See, you guys are no fun. You're trying to help Zach from
I
Ohio.
am.
I'm trying to get him killed.
I want to see him on the cruise.
I
Yeah, I'm
said
trying to-
anything. I said on the BDM page that we would prefer if a BDM picked us up from the hotel and gave us a ride there. That sounded like a fun thing to do. And it wasn't until I said that a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, sure, where are you?" And I gave the address. And Travis Butler, the first thing he says was, "Great part of town, Zach." So I assumed that I'd made a mistake.
Dude, you
Yeah.
gotta check the reviews on anything
Yeah.
before you book it.
I mean, you could have Airbnb.
No.
Like even somebody in our Twitch chat room suggested that maybe you could have gone with our buddy Dan, who does
Oh, yeah.
Airbnbs
He's
all
got
the time.
quite a few Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Here's really bad hotels. Sometimes will be confusing the reviews because if they're really bad in a bad part of town, the people staying there already know and don't even bother leaving bad reviews. A lot of times the worst reviews are written about hotels that are in better parts of town by people that thought they were going to be. I'm like,
Agreed.
and
Yeah.
once you're already on OBT, you're there. You're like, this is what I expected. This is like someone stabbing you. Like I did this to myself.
Zach, your wife is in the chat room watching live. She said Zach's wife here. I said definitely cancel that shit, and then she said my mistake. I should have handled it. We have a bit of a disagreement between you and your wife. Have you been nicer to her because last time she called in, you said didn't you exclaim something poorly during sex or something that pissed her off?
Yeah, I can't remember. What was the story you told about me, Andrea, that I did something wrong? I do a lot of things wrong.
Oh, we know.
So, okay.
You know what he does right is eat
put your
pizza
wife
with a
on the
fork
phone.
and a dress on. That's my
All right, here,
favorite
talk to
video
her.
ever of Zach.
Andrea,
said no.
are you there?
She said no.
No,
She doesn't wanna
want to
talk.
know what you did during sex. Didn't you yell a different girl's name,
right.
or you did something bad?
You called her by a different name.
Yeah, what did you do?
I don't remember
so this is Andrea.
Hey,
Hi.
Andrea, what's up?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So no, he did not say the wrong name. We were laying in bed about to go to sleep. I had curlers in my hair, like foam curlers,
Yeah.
and I wanted to take them out because they're uncomfortable. So I asked him, because my hands were cold, I couldn't tell if they're wet or not. So I was like, hey, feel my rolls. And he goes for my stomach.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it was.
what
That's
an
what it was.
And I'm like, fuck you.
That's what it was. That's so
Zach.
fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
But some of
We
us
laughed about it.
like the rolls.
Yeah.
How many rolls you got?
Also, just
Checking on
fucking
the
with you.
Yeah, I'm a
It's,
bit of a roll,
no
man.
big deal.
Yeah.
So I did see
Roller and flour and aim for the wet spot.
I saw
It's a classic.
something. I believe one of the filters posted on our BDM page about Bahamas and some story about how they've issued a warning out to tourists.
I said it to my wife, and we canceled our excursion, so we're just going to stay on the boat. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I just wonder what people think. These Caribbean islands. Here's the thing: they're reasonably safe for everybody. Who's going and wandering into the heart of the city? It's don't do that. And for
Well,
the other,
they
and then
always-
it's in the article is be careful because all the jet skis aren't 100% maintained and safety regulated. No shit. Everybody thinks.
Isn't that more fun though?
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
also I think there's this.
The adventure factor of it exploding and launching you into the ocean.
This happened to me in my scuba diving Groupon class, in which some of the people
Jesus Christ.
were, not checking their shit and whatever, because I think people just have this expectation of that everything is safe around them, and then it's like the Disney World mentality where you go and you're like, hey, I'm completely safe here, and everything, this ride is safe, this
I
thing
think
is
a
safe,
little bit of
everything's
that
safe.
is head in the sand, is it not? I mean, it's.
But people want to live like that, and it's guess what? Some places you gotta, use your fucking brain and think of hey, I'm in charge of my own safety here. Don't fuck up, and it's fine, And as long as you think like that, you'll be fine. I mean, the occasional murder happens, but that's a
And
fucking
normally-
statistic.
And normally, I would like to know the statistics on the people that were murdered. I want to know what they were about, because if they're bad people, then we're all safer.
Well, it's kind of like gator attacks in Florida. Every once in a while, someone will get picked up and taken and bad things. But it's like getting attacked by a gator in a Florida lake. It's very unlikely, and you're fine for the majority of the time. But then when those things happen, everybody freaks out because you're like, oh, it's gonna happen to me. But the statistics say you're gonna be fine. And when
people are asking, wait, should we cancel our snorkeling thing? I think you're fine.
No.
Most anything you're booking through the cruise is through the cruise line, and that's a little bit different. You're not booking with a third party.
Even if you do book through, you're fine. It's I'm Tom Van guarantee. No one's gonna die in the Bahamas.
Not on my watch. Tom Van guarantee.
The Beast wandered off trying to find crack.
Yeah,
coke.
but the Beast is dead, I think, now.
Yeah, but at the time he didn't die.
He's still alive. But that
have
doesn't mean that
have we
I
tracked the
think-
Beast down?
I haven't tracked him down, but he's still alive because he's
But
been
he-
in contact with a couple other people in the podcast community.
Here's what the Beast, and the Beast is he went on a
The
cruise
Beast
3
kind
years
of
ago.
fits in everywhere, though.
Yeah, but he's just he looks like Bobby from King of the Hill, and he's got a tattoo of the Beast on his stomach. And those who went on the cruise know him and whatever. But
Doesn't it say Beast mode on his, or does it just say
It just
the
says
Beast?
the Beast, like
says
the
the
Tupac,
Beast?
like Tupac lettering, Old English. And
Did he get that when he was already fat?
Oh yeah, I think he's been fat.
Don't
forever.
burp when you're saying it. Oh my God, man.
But he got off the ship and then found the someone trying to sell him weed and hey, I want cocaine, and then they took him to the heart of Nassau in the middle of the city into some park and where everybody locally no tourists at, and then they tried to lure him into a shack, and then he took off running. His shoes fell off, cut his feet off.
Sounds completely safe.
Anyway, he's fine though.
yeah, he was
that
fine.
happened.
He survived.
Yeah, he survived.
I saw him in the casino
Barely.
later with.
But
Didn't he cut his feet all up?
Yes.
Yeah, but who's
Yes.
doing that?
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you do that, then you have a reasonable expectation to be fucked with. If you stay within the tourist area, you're
And
fine.
wear shoes.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
wear shoes.
I mean, shit,
lost
I don't
shoes.
wear shoes, sir. I wear Nike Aqua socks.
dude.
I think that'll be better than flip flops when running away from crackheads.
I remember when my dad bought me a pair of Aqua socks that I could just see in his face. All I wanted was a pair of Aqua socks. They had like white, like grippy bottoms, and they were fluorescent yellow. And I could tell when my dad was buying them for me that he thought it was gay. I could tell.
we
He bought them. He was a good dad.
I think my wife gave me that same look when I bought those Vibram 5 toes.
Yeah,
She was like,
yeah.
"What are you doing?"
But my dad, like he came from a different time. So when he
Yeah.
looked at him, he's like, fluorescent, grippy water shoes.
that
He's not a fan of the Aqua socks.
that guy we interviewed, Rob Greenfield, on a corporate time on Thursday. I mean, that guy got dropped off in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and then walked from there to Panama. Fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty fucking dangerous to
Yeah,
do.
he was.
With $0 in his pocket. He was doing a stunt. But it's like, you know, he had one camera guy with him and no like protection whatsoever. And, you know, I think most of the places you go to that you assume are super dangerous, and yes, they'd probably have a higher murder rate and crime rate and stuff like that. But for the most part, people are good and don't want to kill you.
We
or
learned
rob
that
you.
from the band that was in here, the TGTG band, when they were in here. You know, they said that for the most part, just traveling and living as nomads, you know, and nomadic musicians, that they run into a lot of good people. Sam, you being the biggest, you know, I guess,
skeptic of that.
you know, of that, are you still concerned about the boat? And
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I was telling you guys earlier.
you really are still like
Yeah.
like concerned about like what do
yeah,
you
let's tell
think's
that
going to
story.
happen from hitting the, you know, because it got some minor damage and it came back to port early, and then supposedly they fixed it, got it seaworthy and ready to go.
Supposedly. Although
So you feel
they
like
cut short the itinerary for the next cruise.
Yeah, so they can have longer to repair it, is what I was told.
Well, repair it and then rebook my cruise, so I'm not going on some bobo broken ass ship.
Well, I mean,
Then we heard a story from
Right.
somebody else about they just got off a boat that capsized,
Well,
and it was fucking terrifying.
Well, let's talk about that because
yeah.
this was
we
story-
can't talk about who
You'll
said
never
that.
Yeah, I
forget that
wasn't
cruise,
gonna-
though. I'm looking forward to the
Yeah.
capsule.
So
that is a
fuck
once in a
that.
lifetime
I've been
opportunity.
swimming a lot recently. I'm so ready for this.
Yeah, I mean, you have a once in a lifetime opportunity to capsize in a cruise ship.
So we talked to this person, and he can't. I'm not gonna say what company. You could probably look it up online. Anyway, so he performs on cruise ships or whatever. And
you don't
he's
even have to say that.
Yeah.
Because somebody was
what
on a
are you,
cruise.
What are you doing?
and he
You're trying to
it's
not give
fine.
away mommy's
fine.
Christmas gift?
He
got you a scarf.
he told us a
It
story
warms
that
your neck.
on the boat something happened where the ballast tanks were fucked up or the navigation. They said that they had heard that if a navigation goes out, the ship will take a hard left or whatever, just for whatever reason. But whatever ended up happening, the ship in the middle of the night, or when he was like, you know, whatever, the ship started listing and listed a 50-degree angle. So then people were like falling, booze bottles,
Yeah.
like things were sliding all the way to
And
one side of the
everything was
ship.
breaking. And you had
glass.
like
He said the top deck
plates.
pool drained out into people's cabins, and they woke up in the middle of the night thinking they were drowning at the bottom of the ocean.
I would definitely do that.
Yes.
Yeah. The pool
Dude,
spilled out.
he's telling
Now-
us this,
And
and I'm
I'd
just like,
look
oh
at
my God.
my wife and my daughter. I'd be like, out of my way, you motherfucker!
Now,
I'm freaking out.
no one died or
I'd
anything.
hold my breath and go out. You know,
But
I'm out of here.
A couple people.
I'll start a new family.
There was
Had to
no
get-
one died. I'd
People
be
had to
ga-
get
I'm game.
stitches all night.
There-
Like, for hours, they were sewing people back up.
there were so many
Hey, bitch.
glass and booze on one side. There were like it ended up being like a foot deep of glass
And
people-
booze. He
and-
said,
yeah, and booze.
He was talking about there being like like gallons of booze,
And people were sliding like and then feet first and then into the glass.
but slowly. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
worst is when somebody like gently
Yeah.
pushes your feet into glass.
They ended
Glass and alcohol. That's
Yeah.
gonna burn like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, you get some great pucker in your toes.
They ended up riding the ship and they went. But he said that
It's cold Goldschlager on my feet.
A bunch of people
Burns.
freaked out and then like flew out of whatever stop they'd made of, like
Yeah.
Bahamas or whatever. And then you
Yeah,
know,
who would want to get back on the boat?
Well, for me, I'd be like, oh, it already happened. They fixed the problem.
Yeah, it's all fixed. They'll probably give me something. You know, I got a free steak dinner at the Russian steakhouse. All right. I got $50 at casino
I got
chips.
50 stitches in my foot, but
Yeah.
you know, this buffet fucking food's great.
Yeah. Well, let's go get a Guy Fieri burger.
I like how we were talking about this right before we go on our
Well,
cruise.
that's what was going on. I was telling you guys, I feel like the universe is telling me not to get on this boat.
No, it
I'm
doesn't
the only
work
one
like
panicking
that.
about it.
That's super
It's
safe.
fine, it's fine.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Totally fine.
Okay.
And let's do some mail on mail.
Oh, righty, mail.
You guys have never been wrong about anything.
No, we have not.
EJ, you weren't invited on the cruise.
Does EJ contribute? When he contributes in the chat room, is it anything positive or good?
100% negative every time.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Shampoo. Everybody booked it already, so if you cancel it,
You're not getting your money back.
yeah,
It's on you. I mean, honestly, it's just one less person I have to talk to. Easier for me.
Press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Mail. On mail.
Mail today brought to you by KDK Accountancy Corporation.
I just went there this week.
Yeah. I've met with Bernie. He's our accountant. Samantha's accountant. We just had an email from a listener, Sarah. Had a great.
Help me! I'm in an abusive relationship.
That's all. That's the wrong one. Had a great consultation, and glad to know we have everything set up in our new venture. We have not gone wrong using a sponsor yet at KDK Accountancy Corporation. What did I read this?
Katie said. So make sure you go to.
I didn't know what you wanted. I was like, what do you want? You're like, print it out. I'm like, okay.
Make sure you go to Katie Thady. Habadoo.
Go see Bernie. All right. First email.
This isn't much of a email, as I just wanted to make fun of the fact that this lady says, I was literally just listening to the episode of Tom getting his ticket, and 5 minutes later, as I was entering paperwork from attorneys, I get his case. Crazy. That attorney is not one we see a lot. Hope he's able to withhold the points. And she sent us a picture of your case that she's working on.
Listen, I got an update if you guys want to hear it. So
Okay.
I was right in the fact that the cop just radared the car in front of me and used that whatever he put on that guy's ticket and my ticket, because I had Hunchuck look. I'm like, hey, look up the what was put on the ticket in front of me, you know, whatever you looked at, it's all public record. And then he found out is the exact same thing he put on his ticket. Like, so it says like the radar reading, and then the feet of the radar is like 156 feet. So I can, and we can determine he can't, like, he didn't radar us at the exact same point of time. You know, it would have been, the feet would have been different, you know, or to him and me. Case closed. But he doesn't say.
But it's not.
It's not.
If it's still open, you're just yelling.
I'm just
about to go to trial.
And
Case hasn't opened yet.
apparently, if because the cop was trying to like be a nice guy, I guess, and like give me only 5 over, he wrote my ticket for 5 miles an hour over, which is not even a crime technically. It's got to be 6 miles an hour over the posted speed limit to become a crime. So, but that doesn't mean I'm off. It means that now that I wanted a hearing or a court case about this, the cop has to then, he's notified, and he has to go back 5 days before the trial and change it back to 11 over, which actually would fuck me if he ends up showing up. And
But isn't that kind of bullshit?
Yeah,
it should be whatever the damn ticket was the day he wrote it. You shouldn't be
get
able to go back and edit it.
Yeah, don't go edit my
Can
ticket.
I go back and slow the fuck down? Like, no. So that's bullshit.
That's a good point.
Well, technically, I
you
guess
should tell him I'm going back in time,
Yeah.
and I'm taking my foot off the gas a little bit.
So if the cop doesn't know that rule and go and change the information 5 days before my trial, then I get off.
For these type of traffic citations, is there probably one cop in the United States that shows up for all of them?
Oh yeah. I bet there's
like
multiple.
Like Johnny Diligent, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but that's a lot of time spent, right?
I don't know how many times people elect for the court case.
Or do you try to schedule them all at one time so you can be there? Or you
They got to do that. It's got to be.
Yeah, you
I don't
can't
know
just
that
keep popping in.
I don't know
you
that the
know?
cops get to schedule when the.
Do they
when
get
it is.
paid? I think they get paid to go.
But if they
do
pull
it.
over like 10 people like that day, I think it's all going to be that day, though, right?
I don't think that's how it works. But
If-
I
I
could
don't
be.
know.
I mean, we need
I don't
ask
know.
old
We need to
Chuck,
talk to
I
a
don't
cop.
know.
Yeah. Call in if you're a cop. Also, if everybody challenged their tickets they got, it would cripple our whole
Oh, hell yeah,
system. And,
Oh, somebody says you're totally wrong about how radar works.
Well, what's wrong?
C. Carroll 0605. Well, call in.
Yeah.
1-844-TOM-NDAN.
All I'm saying is I knew that cop only radared the car in front of me because he was standing in front. We were going towards him, and I was behind the truck. And then, so that was my theory. And then I was justified by the fact that his ticket said the same shit. Said, 11 over, and it said the serial number of the radar gun, and then it said 156 feet. So how could it be, I knew he radared the car in front of me and just put it on both of our tickets. I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but I mean, it would make sense, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
So, but maybe I'm wrong about it. I don't know.
All right. You want to do a
Oh,
voicemail?
if he
while
doesn't
we're-
show up, I get off. If he shows up, I'm fucked.
There you go.
That's all it is.
Yeah, and then my wife did that, and the guy showed up, and she got fucked. So there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
It's,
Also, apparently, I only have a certain amount of points in my entire life that I can receive.
how many have you already received?
I have no idea.
Oh, a lot, I bet.
Although, and people gave me shit on the BDM page. They're like, why is your time more important? They just assumed that I was like speeding around everywhere and reckless driving. And I would like to go back and look at all the speeding tickets I got or all the moving violations because I think majority, there was no situation where I'm fucking hauling ass and reckless driving. It was all me being aloof. And,
yeah, but you could
I've
haul ass
ridden with.
being
I've ridden
aloof.
with you.
Well, do you think I
you're-
drive like...
I think you're pretty slow, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
What?
Every time I've ridden with him, it's like, oh my god, can we
Him
get
and Butler
there already?
both ride everyone's ass and then hard
Oh
brake.
yeah, they hard brake.
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
yeah. He is a hard
Hard
breaker.
brake.
Yeah, you do what my wife does. My wife's like, "Ing, ing, 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 ah!" And I'm like, can you please not do that? I
You
was
guys are
like,
too nervous.
what happened to just a regular
Yeah,
drive?
you're making us nervous.
Yeah.
because you
I mean,
drive like
there'd be
fucking
no
maniacs.
way to eat or drink a coffee in Tom's car like in the morning without spilling it all over the place.
Every time I drive a Dan, there's freaking ass holding his heart like an old granny, and he's like,
yeah,
"Oh,
because
oh!"
you guys tailgate like
no,
crazy.
it's fine. You guys are too nervous.
You know, if I
Nervous
in a
Nellies.
different life, if you were doing that to me, I'd get to a stop sign, I'd get out of my car, I'd blow your head off.
You'd kill me
Ultimate
for-
road
Like
road
the maddest
rage.
man in the world. That
Yeah,
we saw?
maddest man in the world that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Let's do a voicemail.
Okay, so apparently I'm just super horny right now, but here are my 2 comments. First of all, if you guys do a live Twitch show from the nudist colony, Waist Up, and Samantha's there, that will be the highest watched video, I think, of maybe all time. I would
Not of all
pay a
time.
lot of money for it. And secondly, there is a show of Tom Van doing magic with his sexy wife in
Jesus,
high
sir.
white go-go boots. Where, Dan, you gotta find this. This has to go on the BDM page, please.
He is extra horny.
Sorry for the horniness.
It's their
Love the show.
anniversary. I'm not going to put a video of her in go-go boots doing magic with Lena the dog.
I don't
That's the only reason I wouldn't put it on there, because your wife would be crying.
No, she don't.
Oh, she misses Lena so bad, I bet.
Oh, I thought you meant because the guy was horny and asking to see it.
I think it's on.
that she'd be crying about that.
Right.
It's on YouTube probably somewhere. It was the old.
No, I don't think it is.
No?
Yeah, it was when the radio station didn't believe in YouTube and they wanted to keep everything in house.
Uh-huh.
So the vast majority of all that stuff's been lost because they had it on their own servers.
It was just some like telethon we did with a local TV. It was Bright House.
It's a hunk of shit. Let's just call it what it was.
And then I was doing some sort of magic thing. I convinced my wife to be involved. Lena's there. Lena had a fucking cone on her neck because she had surgery for something. So I was like throwing.
How long
a
did you
bait-
guys keep that dog alive? My God.
yeah. That was,
That was early in.
Yeah.
Like, my
That's the
God.
beginning.
But
I feel like that. Like when I get a dog, like you see the people that they'll get a new puppy and they'll be like, oh, the puppy's got, parvo. I feel like, no, you got to just kill it and start over. You don't write it out. Because
A lot of money, a
Yeah,
lot of
well,
time.
it's already, it's like a lemon law or something. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Why invest? You know, you're not that invested mentally in the dog, so get rid of that one and get a new, fresh one.
Well, how long does it take to get really invested into an
I think
animal?
it's different for everybody,
Yeah,
but for me, it takes a solid 5 years.
yeah.
Trust
4.5
the dog.
easily killed.
Yeah, 4.5. They're like, it's one of its paws has got to be amputated. I'm like, can we get, can we amputate its, horrible.
Get him those little wheel legs.
No, there's a basset hound over
I
here
like
that.
those.
he's so cute, but I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get it out in time, and it's sitting there in its PVC fucking wheelchair, and it's just shitting, and I'm like,
She
fuck!
catches the poop in like a Publix bag.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, that looks fun.
Next email.
The question is for the men on the show. How do you deal with a pee boner? I recently had kidney stones at age 42, and to avoid future stones, I have to drink a lot more water. This has produced a sharp increase in nighttime pee boners. The BTM listeners might not understand the complexity of the pee boners, so I will allow the men on the show to elaborate on them. My preferred method is the marriage proposal. When you get down on one knee with the bowl to one side, this produces a lesser angle and doesn't cut off the stream.
He's like,
Oh, I go drill press.
Yeah.
Drill press squat down, or if I have to, I'll go in the shower and I'll spray piss the wall.
You're a goddamn piece of shit. You're an animal.
I have a jaywalking shower. I just didn't splash some water on it.
A jaywalking shower?
A giant walking shower.
Oh, I have a jaywalking shower.
That's what I
was
heard
like,
too.
I don't know
Giant
what a
walking shower. Sorry.
I have a walking shower too, but I'm not going to piss in it.
Oh, well,
I do. Alcoholic dad, one hand
Yeah,
against
yeah.
the wall in front of me,
you just
lean,
lean, yeah.
and then you press your boner downwards.
Yeah, you aim it down.
Can't press it too hard because
you'll break it.
affects the stream.
Plus, it pinches it
My
off.
prostate's red hot in the middle of the
What
night.
happens when you get like that 90 degree angle that shoots off to the side of the left? You ever get that?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's because you
the
get
worst.
lint in your dick hole.
You gotta
that's the
squeeze the
worst.
tip and open it up first.
She knows.
What?
How do you know that?
Yeah, are you helping him pee now?
Guys don't-
Yeah.
You guys don't even fart
He
in front of each
says-
other.
I had my wife hold my
I'm not
dick one
that
time to
mean.
pee.
You did?
I do that a lot. She said, knock her down a peg. I'll like, get in here and hold this thing and keep it in the bowl. And then she does it, and I'm like, I'm the god. I'm your god.
He says, I've also tried sitting really far back on the seat with your back against the tank.
That'll work.
Then you can bend at the waist and reduce the angle this way.
That's how you
I
break it
haven't
down.
had good
That's called
results
the
from this.
ab machine.
Any help would be appreciated. So you guys say the
Yeah.
drill press?
No, I like the alcoholic one-hander.
Yeah.
like Tom says. It's-
One-hander,
yeah.
lean, push.
But I don't get I don't get that many pee boners. But it's something that does happen to me is I'll get high, really high. You're seeing a theme here, and then I will feel like I have to pee.
Yeah.
And then
That
I'll be
happens
like,
all the time.
am I pissing my underpants?
No, that's weird.
And then I get up and I go in there to pee, and there's nothing in there.
Oh, okay.
It's just the feeling. I think I'm so relaxed that I feel like I'm like, am I pissing my underpants?
I had that when I was smoking a little bit too much sativa, and I switched up my strains, and then I stopped having that issue.
Also, as we get older, our prostates start shitting out. It's like eventually, I don't know what the stat is, but it's like 100% of all men, if they live long enough, will eventually get some sort of prostate disease or cancer or whatever it is. Like, so it's your prostate just shits out eventually.
Juan in our chat room, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive, is giving out misinformation, horrible misinformation. He says that means you have dried cum in your pee hole. Wash your dick, bro. Cum will not dry in your pee hole. It just doesn't work that way.
It's like paint in a sealed can. You may,
it ain't gonna work.
The top may get, but it's there's a fresh paint on it.
And it'll stay wet. I mean, at least mine will. Like if I, perform coitus or relieve myself, and there's cum in the dick hole, then the next morning there's still cum in the dick hole. It doesn't dry.
You got a swimmer. You got a swimmer in the chamber. That's what it is.
What?
You have a swimmer in the chamber. Yeah, you got.
It doesn't dry in there though.
I know. Yeah, that's why it calls like.
And
a
who
spray,
doesn't
right?
piss after you do that? You always pee it out.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you have, let's say, a wet dream, is there pre-cum there going on?
I've evacuated I've drained my entire balls.
Like if you have a sex dream and you wake up, is there pre-cum, and then when you pee, squirts out to the side?
Sometimes I just get pre-cum from kissing my wife. And then I get what I like to call the slick helmet.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you have uncircumcised penis and gross.
You can't
Don't
even
talk about
say
it.
you can't even say the word penis. He goes, "Oh, you have an uncircumcised penis."
No, because he likes to say pee-pee.
Yeah. Do you still use? Do you call that? Do you lean over to your wife and go, "Suck my pee"?
Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
Happy anniversary. Do you want to see my rock hard peepee?
All right. Next voicemail.
Oh, me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Voicemail.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about pee holes.
Hey, this message is for Tom, Dan, Sam, Trav, whoever else wants to hear it. I was listening to your Friday free show last week with Seth, and he was talking about customer reviews. And I have a short but I think pertinent story about that. I got my daughter a remote control car for Christmas. We open it up. She drives it one time, bumps into the wall, and the thing cracks and breaks apart. I mean, literally just the frame breaks off of the chassis. Like it was just a hunk of junk. So I look at it and I'm like, man, this thing's terribly put together. I go to return it and I'm like, oh, there's instructions. I read the instructions and they are almost in another language. They're so poorly translated. I mean, just terrible. And it's not like I need instructions for a remote control car, but it's embarrassing. And I just thought that their QC process was just terrible. So I wrote a 1-star review on Amazon. And then subsequently, this past week, they wrote me an email, the company who sold it, and said, listen, we really value customer service, and we're sorry that this happened to you. We'd like to send you a drone. Here's a picture of it if you verify your address. And then I went through and I verified that this was the right company. And I said, yeah, that'd be great. I think that's a nice gesture. I emailed them back that, to which they replied, okay, we'll send it. But first we ask that you remove your review of this remote control car.
That's a thing.
And I kind of sat on that and I was thinking, well, is that really appropriate? Do people need to know that this thing's a hunk of junk? And I really think all these other positive reviews, which is why I bought it, are fake. So I didn't reply just for about 4 or 5 days. And then lo and behold, this Tuesday, the drone shows up at my front door. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't remove the review. I didn't agree to do it, but here it is. And so I opened the drone and it's just, it's a $30 drone. It's nice. It's a nice gesture. I'm sure it cost them a couple bucks, but it is more complicated. There are buttons that aren't labeled and I wouldn't know how to, other than up, down, left, right, trim, how to work it. Cause the buttons, there's probably 8 or 9 buttons on it. So I opened the instructions and they're even worse than the remote control car. I mean, far worse. And I'm going to actually, in addition to this, I'm going to send you guys a photo through the BDM link so you can see how bad these instructions are. And get your thoughts on, should I remove the review as a gesture of goodwill because of their customer service, or do people need to know that what they're buying is a hunk of junk? So I thought that was good, maybe some good fodder for conversation, and I really appreciate it. I love the show. You guys are awesome, and I hope you all have a great day. See ya. Bye.
Alex, thank you. Love you too, buddy. And I have the actual preparation. It's like a picture he sent me. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up here so I can put it on Twitch.
So they're basically trying to bribe him to take off the bad review.
I say leave it.
Oh yeah, definitely leave the review.
I'll send you the drone.
They did send the drone. Deal's a deal.
Yeah, there's a part of the.
He didn't agree to the deal though.
Yeah,
they just assumed.
Here, I'm gonna read this. It says preparation before taking off. Number 1, open the aircraft power switch, then open the remote control power switch. Number 2, select the open interior or no rain, snow, wind less than 4 outdoor environment under the flight to avoid open humans, animals, and obstacles.
All right.
Number 3.
Is it written by someone Chinese that trying to write English?
It's just together. Number 3, the plant is equipped with a lithium polymer battery to the car lights flashing. It is quiet in the flat position, wait, frequency. Number 4.
I understand all of this, by the way.
Yeah, this is Tom wrote this. A lot of people don't know that you make a lot of your money to kind of underwrite the company writing directions for Chinese junk. Number 4, place the throttle lever to the lowest, open the remote control power from the lowest to the highest throttle lever, the lowest in the back. Heard the tick is heard. The indicator at this time become a solid aircraft. After the code is complete, it can fly. Number 5, flying time about 7 to 9 minutes. Flying controlled and fine tuning.
And Daniel literally read that word for word.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this,
Perfect.
I'm watching Daniel. I'm looking at the instructions while Daniel's reading it.
Perfect.
It's exactly as Daniel read it. You're right. That's a hunk of shit.
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't buy a lot of, maybe I'm in the, because I think I am in the minority here, and I think this kind of goes along with how Tom and I are both wired. I don't buy a lot of stuff that if I look it up on Amazon and it's like I get even an inkling that I think it's like Chinese shit, I just don't buy it.
Mm.
And I'd rather just wait and save my
read all the
money and
reviews.
buy the American version that's probably 9 times as expensive.
You're right. There is a ongoing theme of Amazon now where they just take and there's this whole
Gym leader Phil says this is actually the instructions on how to deal with a pee boner. Like, you win. That's funny.
I guess they're going through this whole thing now with China, and like China's been just stealing patents of everything and just making it cheaper, and then the products are available online, and it's just a cheaper, shittier version of whatever it is, and
like it works sort of the same, but it's just not engineered.
It's
the
a
same.
cheap hunk of shit,
Yeah.
and this is like becoming a problem. But there is like you have to now be careful when you go on Amazon and you look at it and you're like, wait a minute, this seems way cheaper. They're like too good to be true. And then my wife's ordered like Christmas presents and stuff, and just like not like she needs one for the niece and these people, and when we get them, they're like, oh, it's the Bobo Chinese shit version of it, and it's complete bullshit and a hunk of shit.
Kind of like the dry erase boards.
Yeah. Those are fine, but it's like so you buyer beware when it comes to that. But seeing how bad it was, just leave the bad review. Like this company deserves it. Like they're tricking people into believing their stuff is.
But I mean, decent. I guess I would not to side with anything that you would do, but is the bad review even gonna matter?
No.
So I would
guys
say
like me
I would
and
say
this guy
don't waste your time. Yeah, I mean, like why?
Well, just leave it. And
I mean, I guess you've already done it, so you can leave it. But I wouldn't even go that far.
Yeah.
I left a bad review the other day.
On what?
I got an Apple Watch cover, for working out, so I didn't scratch it. I already scratched it one time. And I got it, and when I received it, it was just like this thin plastic kind of thing that kind of wraps around it. But the instructions on the inside were like, if to prevent sweat from breaching to the top side of your Apple Watch, shove toilet paper in the corners. And I was like, what? And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, you bought a toilet watch.
Yeah, and so I left a review, and I stated the exact same thing. I was like, your fucking product's flawed. I was
Wait,
like,
no, read your review. I want to hear you read
Mine's
it.
not, it's not
Can you
hard.
read it in a British accent?
Is it a Chinese hunk of shit that you bought?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, why'd you buy it? You're smarter than that.
Well, because that had fucking like 4.5 stars.
Well, then maybe you're just too dumb to do it right. Maybe the toilet paper trick works.
I didn't know it was sticking toilet paper in your fucking...
I wipe my watch with toilet paper every day.
I said, this works fine as basic protection, but if you want to use this for working out, hard pass. Inside the packaging include detailed information on how to wedge toilet paper in the corners to prevent sweat from seeping into the screen. This product is extremely flawed, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone actively using an Apple Watch.
That's a good review. Yeah,
2 stars.
Good. You gave it a one. You got more than one.
Shipping was fast.
All right, let's take a break because I know we've gone an hour already.
Have we?
I think so.
Yeah, we
definitely have.
Holy shit!
Well, let's take a break. When we come
God,
back,
when I'm sober during the show, it just fucking flies.
We've got tons of things to talk about. I have a situation that I want to talk to people that have been bullied and bullies. So we'll get them both on the line during the break.
Lighthearted.
Oh my God! Because
nothing that's gonna upset anybody.
My son had a situation at school, and I wasn't prepared for it yet. And I'll tell you about it when we get back.
Here we go.
Not that kind of situation.
It wasn't
a blippy. That's a whole. I'm waiting for it.
Did I tell you guys I showed my mom the blippy video?
The diarrhea one?
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it.
It's good. You gotta search real hard to find it. Yeah. But it's on Reddit.
He apparently paid a company.
Like he still is. He's still taking them down.
Yeah.
Because every day it pops up, and then you'll go to Reddit and you'll watch it one time, and then later that night it'll say this has been taken down by because of a lawsuit or something.
I didn't realize that was a thing, but if you got blippy money, you could hire
fucking loaded.
Yeah, you could hire a company to start wiping the internet of shit that you don't want out there, and they do a pretty good job. It's hard to find.
Do you know he has a fucking Ferrari, and the license plate says Kid Vids?
Ew.
That's weird.
No, I made that up. Not true. That's fake news. That's how it starts, guys. That's how it starts. You guys are all like, "Oh my God,
he's fine.
Take him off the air."
You've had too much bang. You gotta calm down.
Am I crazy?
He just did some jackass shit when he was first younger. They shit on some guy's friend's head. Lots of us done it.
Who doesn't shit on a friend's head?
I'm having a bang rainbow unicorn.
Me too.
And it is fucking terrible.
Yeah, fuel your destiny.
Yeah, this is bad.
There's too much caffeine. By the way,
And it's got a bunch of things on the back. It's even got a warning. It says not intended for individuals under the age of 18.
oh
my God.
You gotta have pubes to drink this shit.
It's straight poison.
Yeah,
Why are
it
you
says
drinking it?
Baca aminos,
Contains no fruit juice.
super creatine,
Just take a caffeine pill.
ultra CoQ10.
I have those in my desk.
Give me one.
You have had too much.
No, not enough. I want to give that heart just like, go. Let's do some music. This is a new band I'd never heard of before called Criminal Hygiene. And the name of the song is called Private Heroin Screening. There you go. Enjoy this. It's from the Run It Again album. We'll be back with more of Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN. That is new music from our good friends, the Shabooms. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Our producer Samantha's here. Butler is in there taking a grunt. And welcome back to the show.
This segment brought to you by onefirmforlife.com for any legal issue. So the other day, my wife tells me that Tommy came home from school and said that there was a little girl in his class that called him weird. And
I don't even know what that means.
And then he
on what grounds?
I don't know. Maybe Tommy is like, as he grows up, his personality, like he's he's the nicest boy that I've ever seen. Like I haven't seen that many little boys, but he's just like, he's super nice and he's caring and he's honest and he's follows the rules. That's like ingrained into his nature. So he's like, and he also he's just like a nice boy. So maybe that lends to it, or
You're a nice boy.
The fact that he's got glasses and he's skinny. But I guess every kid like that age is skinny. He's 4 years old. Anyway,
I've seen some porky
I just
4-year-olds.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I just feel like maybe he
Lord of the Flies, Piggy had glasses and he was fat.
and his
You know what happened to him? Eventually his head was on a stake.
And apparently, like, then Max came up and like told the girl, like, he's not weird. Like, it's a start of now like Max defending Tommy, which is good. And I foresee me having to tell Max to start taking care of his older brother, because
Well, why not tell the older brother to take care of himself?
Tommy?
Yeah.
And I did, but I'm like,
because that would be to me that would make more sense than having Max do it.
Yes, but I foresee, and I have no idea. There's a long time, but like I maybe foresee a situation where Tommy is, because of his personality, gets bullied, right?
Yeah.
In school, and I didn't expect it to happen. And this is not. I don't even consider this bullying. They're toddlers, VPK for God's sakes. So it's not. I do not consider this a bullying incident. I don't, Plus, there's also a part of me that's always said like being bullied can be healthy for kids, and they should learn how to deal with these problems and
You've
deal
always
with
said
adversity, and it'll make you a better person at the end of the day. Although when it's happening to my own son now, it's harder for me to say that because I'm so fucking soft.
Did he say he said anything back to the girl?
Wouldn't it be awesome if you're like, well, did you say anything back to her? And he's like, yeah, Dad. I said, fuck you, cunt.
He probably said
I
something
went hard.
He probably said something like, "I'm not weird."
Yeah. He didn't understand, and then we were like, I get my
I think
wife's
weird
better.
is a good thing, bro.
I'm
weird.
Well,
it's better than some other things you could have said.
True, but
Weird's creative.
As a kid,
Yeah, he's creative.
Nobody wants to be called
Of
weird.
course he's weird because no offense to that other kid. I don't know who it is. Hopefully it's not a listener's kid. But, I've been around Tommy enough to know how creative he is. He's creative. And you know what? That is weird. And that's okay.
That little girl might have a crush on him.
That's true.
It's really young.
It's not like he's an unattractive,
he's a
kid.
good-looking kid.
My favorite line that Tom told us that little Tommy said was, "Daddy, I want to go outside and dance with the mosquito."
He's a creative cat, So, of course, that's going to be dubbed as weird when you're a basic bitch kid. No offense, but I'm just saying. If you're just a basic bitch kid, You know, the kid that's coming up with the superheroes and the Dancing with the Mosquitoes kid. Yeah, he's weird.
So basically, I'm just trying to now.
I'm that kid.
Set myself up for the fact that Tommy could be bullied throughout school, possibly based on his
Why
personality
don't you get him
and
into
stuff.
like karate or something?
Yeah, and I'll do my hardest to teach him how to stick up for
Why don't
himself.
you get him a
and not-
gun, dude?
Well, first thing you have to do.
Right.
Horrible idea.
Yeah, you got the truck. I mean, I say you teach him to shoot now.
But
You gotta have him do some kind of physical activity at some point, like
yeah.
build up his leg muscles
I
by
know.
walking instead of being pushed in a stroller and wagon.
I know. Hey, listen, I'm contributing to this.
He likes
believe me,
dancing. He
but-
might like Tai Chi or something. You know.
yeah, capoeira.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know if karate or all that shit is the answer. I don't know.
Dude,
But
Seth Petruzzelli's Little Gorilla Boot Camp.
well, here's the thing.
What's it called? Little Gorilla Boot Camp. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Escalating
That's
a situation of like kids like calling you weird or whatever they're calling you into a fight may not be the best possible answer. You know, like because there's lots of types of bullying. There's psychological bullying and like if you're the weird
awesome.
kid.
We do that to Butler.
Oh, no, I know. And so, but there's a part of me that wants them to go through adversity or Tommy because in my mind I'm like, well, that'll teach him to be a stronger person. Shielding it from him is not the answer.
Agreed.
And just teaching him how to deal with it is probably the answer.
Well, the Tai Chi won't teach you, and all that stuff doesn't teach you how to fight. It teaches you how to pacify the situation, and then in the worst case scenario, teach you how to defend yourself.
Right.
What best case scenario is that you are not bothered by anybody teasing you or like picking on you
that's
or
harder
calling you
said than
names.
done, man.
Yes, I
Teach
know.
him some self-confidence.
Yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, I don't know, and but I wanted to talk to some people that have been bullied. I know Daniel's had some bullying scenarios,
God.
being
But you
short.
know, I'm the worst person to probably throw in the conversation because I never really had trouble with it because I always had a smart mouth.
Yeah. That helps you.
So I was bullied. Yeah, absolutely. Probably more than anybody else in this room, but I handled it really well. And that's just luck of the draw.
Part of it, now, you could make the argument that was what made you so quick
Witty?
on
Yeah,
your feet and witty.
absolutely.
And just a little bastard.
It's what you, but it's what you always say. It's reps.
Yeah.
You know,
You just slightly bullied him just now.
Yeah.
No,
it's fine. It's
but I'm
fine.
saying
I know he means it with love.
So without that, it could have, you're not as smart as witty, and you never had this job because
Probably
this is,
so.
That is the scenario.
Or would you
that got
rather
you
me?
to-
Or is it funnier if I'm like, nah, I'd absolutely have this job. I'm born to do this.
Well, I often think about it going back to I'm like I probably have my kids having a little bit more adversity and maybe growing up with a little shittier parents probably would maybe cause them to be better adults. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that their home life is like good and they don't, I don't come home drunk and kick the dog around or punch holes through the wall or,
Maybe you
or
should a
gone all
couple
the time.
times.
Well, I know.
You don't have a dog anymore.
But
Yeah.
hey, we
that's
might
right.
have one soon. Actually,
What?
we breached the conversation again, and I finally fell. I
gave
caved.
in?
I gave in. But so
God.
A
You're gonna-
puppy? Are you getting a puppy?
No, they're
Don't do that, dude. You got 2 toddlers.
No, but his wife's never gonna let him get a puppy. He's gonna have to get some
Get the
adopted
Greyhound.
Greyhound or
No,
something.
The
he's gonna get-
greyhounds are gonna need a home.
Yeah, but that's a used up great old
Oh, my
warty. No, you got to get fresh and new, man. Always go new with puppies.
there's no possible way we're getting anything else than from a rescue. It's got to be from a rescue.
I
You
mean,
can have my dog.
But I can
you're gonna
use-
have a life of
He
old
hates
wart
kids,
dogs.
though.
But I could use my prowess in this in this city. I could call the bunch of rescues and be like, "Hey, when you get a puppy, and give it to me."
No, but they don't want to give the. Everybody wants the puppies, man.
No, but that's what
Dude,
I'm saying.
you don't
I call
want a puppy.
I call in a favor. I know. I kind of
They're
don't
gonna
want a
give
puppy.
you- They're gonna do
Get
"Oh,
something that's already trained,
Yeah, I
house
like the
trained."
ones where they try to sell you on this one. They're like, well, she's 14 and she's just a great
Full of
dog. It's like
life.
I don't want a 14-year-old fucking dog. Give me some old stinky bag of bones. I'm gonna get attracted to it. I'm gonna get I'm gonna become invested, emotionally with this thing, and then it's gonna fucking die. You're
Yeah.
just giving me medical bills. Why don't you just shove medical bills into my arms?
So I wanted to talk to some people that have been bullied.
Yeah.
Just to see, I figured I'll talk to a victim of bullying and a bully. and then we'll see what they've learned now that they're adults from their childhood, because maybe being bullied is going to be a good thing for Tommy, because going through adversity, I contend, is always...
going to build character.
So it's going to, but not always, though. That's the problem. Like, I keep telling my wife, I'm like, hey, we're not putting through so much adversity, and then she's like, she brings up a valid point that, like you reference all these successful people that went through adversity and that made them successful, but there's a lot of other people that went through adversity and became fucked up and are not successful.
Yeah, but if they have the foundation, of people behind them, they're gonna be comfortable coming to dad or mom and telling them they're having problems instead of like shutting down and it like emotionally affecting them. You know what I mean? You just, as long as you're open with your kids, I think they'll be okay.
And is their nature going? Is it kind of like whatever experience you go through? It depends on what your nature is to begin with, and then that's combined with your nurture and your experiencing through life.
Okay.
Depending on whether you're going to be successful, and then it's a fucking gamble, and it doesn't matter anyway. Who knows? Let's talk to someone who has
been through it.
Has been through it. I'll interview him. So let's talk to the bully victim.
The bully victim is line 1.
All right.
This is Pariah Mike.
Hey, Pariah Mike.
Hello. Hey, guys. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, loving all the songs you've been donating to the cause, man. Much appreciated.
Oh, no, much appreciated for using them. Seriously, thank you very much.
Yeah, and then we'd like, he'll do one, and then I'll do one, and then he'll do one, and I'll do one. We have this like almost a symbiotic, like cool little relationship now, writing these dumb songs. So, but anyway, how were you bullied, my friend?
Did you guys get to read the email, or like, should I just go all over it all?
You can go over it all. I saw you're fat, something.
Oh my God.
That could be a lot of things. That could almost be everything in the Tom and Dan universe is you're fat, something. That could be any topic.
To be fair, Mike, he can't really read well. So
How
all he
dare
could
you.
read was
I
3
can
letters
read
of fat.
fine.
Everybody in the
didn't
chat
take it-
room's now mad at me because old dogs need love and wart dog. No, nobody wants your
There's a
stinky
couple
old
people
wart
that
dog.
agree with you.
Yeah, you got to just, you want to solve that problem. Oh, there's too many in the shelters. I know how to solve that problem.
Prior Mike, so you
It's not
grew
going to
up
be pretty, but I'll solve it.
as a fat kid or overweight. How big were you?
Well, let's see. I'm only 5'6", so I was 190 pounds when I was 5'6" as a little kid.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty big. So although not extremely
Yeah, I
obese,
was
it's
looking
hard
for
to
300.
yeah. Well, that's it. Like that's where the child abuse almost. That if you're a child and you're that big, there's someone's gonna step in, some counselor or someone's gonna be like,
That
hey,
never happens.
what the hell is going on here? So what?
No, they step in. The counselors step in for me drawing disturbing cartoons, but fatness, that's cool. Let him eat.
Yeah, don't fat shame, bro.
So what kind of experience did you have being a big kid?
Well, I don't like to say brought it upon myself, but I was also a Marilyn Manson fan, really into the Cradle of Filth and stuff.
Oh,
so-
you were a gothopotamus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of Tom and I's favorite thing. We'd walk out of this editing bay.
It was like one of the original memes.
Yeah, it was. You can look up Gothopotamus. It's not
like
something.
the
we
first 200
didn't write
memes.
it, but we loved it. We'd walk out of the editing bay
Yeah.
at Clear Channel, and then this news guy had a picture of Gothopotamus on his bookcase, and we laughed.
By the way,
and we
you
laughed.
couldn't. I bet you they made him take that picture down
yeah.
because
no Gothopotamus.
back in 05, we didn't really understand. Like, there wasn't the culture.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No,
This guy
I
had
don't,
literally-
but I love that name.
He was just some nerd radio news guy who put up like a picture of a meme. He printed it out black and white, and it was just a bigger girl.
And it was like the inspirational posters, and it was a big fat Marilyn Manson fan girl, and then it just said under the bottom in big white bold letters it said Gothopotamus.
You know,
Oh,
the
man.
funniest part is like that guy thought that it was appropriate to put that up on the outside of the cubicle for people walking down the hallway to see.
Jesus.
It's
Okay,
like-
there it is. It's actually 2 boys. And yeah, it says Gothopotamus, be lucky it's on a leash. So that's really hateful.
Hold on, who do we know in Cleartown that we can call to go
See if
down
it's
the
still
hallway?
there?
Who's there right now?
Oh man,
Jimmy.
I could get
Jimmy
a hold of
just started the
Sabrina
show.
would still
Jack.
be there, but she's in New York.
Well, it was Ross. I mean, someone call up during the next break. We're gonna call up Ross during the break
Padgett,
and be
yeah.
like, run to the news thing and see if Gothopotamus is still up. If it is, then we can give him that fucking nerd a prize. Whoever it is. I don't
mean,
even
and
know.
then there's different ones now. There's there's this guy. There's there's here's a baby. This is son of Gothopotamus.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, he is cute. Yeah, leave him alone.
Okay, so you didn't make it better by dressing Marilyn Manson-y, and that, it's like putting highlighter on the fact that you're big and you're putting a target on yourself at that point. You're like, you know what, make this being obese as a kid worse? I'll put some black chainy pants on and a mesh style shirt and long sleeves with your thumbs sticking out the holes in the end. Anyway,
I was pretty much like a billboard for Hot Topic in name and brief description of what I looked like.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of bullying did you receive on a daily basis? Because a lot of the emails that Samantha got, it was like not that bad, not the stereotypical movie bullying that we see, like flushing your head down the toilet.
Like even in our Twitch chat room, Beantown352 says, I was a chubby kid bullied to the point where I left school to do homework. I'm now a manager of a large corporate restaurant. I absolutely hate my job, but I'm a complete pushover, and I let everyone get away with everything.
All right. Well, is that the result of bullying?
That's what it sounds like he's saying.
Uh-huh. Well, how is that you're a pushover?
Well, it sounds like he was a pushover from the beginning.
Yeah, maybe you just haven't changed at all.
You need some confidence,
that's
man.
like a coping mechanism. It's something that you kind of build into your character, and some of that can stay with you.
Yeah.
So that's what here's what I'm worried about is like it not building adversity and not making you tougher, but causing you to be
more introverted.
And then not talk to people and be more stepped on. Like that's what I'm worried about.
You gotta teach them how to stick up for themselves.
So what would happen? Like what are some like specific examples of the bullying that you went through?
Fights, pushing, name calling. It seemed pretty, par for the course.
What would they call you?
I don't remember exact names. Me and my shrink are trying to go over this and remember things because repressed a lot.
There wasn't would they get physically violent with you? Like, how did it work as far as like, or is it just, the kids calling you names, or was it at all like the violent nature of the bullying?
Somebody in the chat, Jason BDM in the Twitch chat said, I would wipe my nut cheese during football practice and fish hook a kid. You are a goddamn animal, sir.
Why do you have nut cheese?
That's the
I'd be more concerned about the nut cheese.
The sports
guys. The real victim there is your own body.
The sports guys do that shit to each other, not as much
That's
to
disgusting.
Girls don't do that. Cheerleaders are like,
girls do some pretty shitty things.
Yeah.
Bloody tampons in the locker.
Squirting each other with their tit milk.
Tit milk?
What?
Yeah.
I guess there were some prego girls in high school.
Yeah, do people do that? What?
Pariah Mike, did you ever then stick up? How did your parents handle it? Did you tell them? Like, that's what I'm wondering. How should I handle this in the future?
Well, my dad was a real man and just said, stick up for yourself, whatever. So, I'd try to fight people, but 5'6", usually just wound up getting beat up a lot.
Yeah,
but,
you gotta pick your battles.
Yeah.
So, I just kind of learned to be like a kind of a sponge. I never really got good at fighting, but I can take a pretty good ass whooping and still laugh at you.
Agreed.
Okay,
yeah. If you can take a punch, that's almost as important as throwing one.
And it's weird to me that it gets you see a kid that's overweight and dressed like Marilyn Manson. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go and beat that kid up. Like that's a weird thing. I'm never gonna be that guy because I was already bullied. So. Even if I'd wanted to, I'd never fly into that category. I can't wrap my brain around that one. But does it escalate to the point where then you say something back, then it starts a fight, or the kid's just calling you fat, or in your case, Daniel, making short jokes?
Yeah.
But you're getting them back, and then that's what escalates.
I mean, not at first. It would reach and I don't know if Mike was this way too, but it would have to reach a point. You know, like I kind of got impervious to the like, look at how short you are, or like, where's your neck?
Do you like at some point like embrace it and take the power back? Like, yeah, I am short. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you like, I don't know. Like, it was more of a like in the beginning stages is more avoidance. You know, it's like they say something and you're like, okay, yeah, you just don't even bite.
Yeah,
ignore it, right?
Yeah, you ignore it. But then there's sometimes when you can't ignore it because the bully will push it to the point where they're like touching you or they'll push you.
Trying to elicit a response.
And then at that point I would fight. And then I'd normally get my ass kicked. That's
I kind of sculpted it with like humor and stuff. Like,
yes,
you know, you're going to lose your fist to my stomach, or I'm going to beat up your fist with my face, and you know,
yeah,
other people around would get a laugh at that, and then I'd engage in a little terrible looking fisticuff.
Did this experience help you at all? Did it help you be more artistic and better songwriter? You would do good Weird Job Wednesday songs.
Well, he's in touch with his feelings, maybe. I mean,
no, totally repressed those on the citalopram, and like I said, talking to shrinks. You know, trying to find the feelings now later in life. I think I just kind of blocked everything out because bullying wasn't all of it. There's a lot of weird stuff that happened back then, so. I don't really know if that had any effect at all on me. I'm sure it did, but, you know.
Sounds like
this isn't going the way you wanted it, right? Look, I want the lighthearted fun bullying, not the citalopram shrink bullying.
I guess it doesn't exist. What I'm looking for is the answer. First, it's all over the place, and it's probably situation by situation. But
he still has body image issues to this day, so it still affects him.
Well, I do too. I don't think I ever will not have body image issues because
so
I'm short.
Bullying will transcend all the way until you're an adult.
The worst thing that they ever did to me is they actually put me in a drum. A metal drum, and then they rolled me down.
Well, they did that to all freshmen at my high school.
Yeah, they rolled me down a
like
hill.
Like a snare drum?
No, I wish. That would have been cooler. Like a trash drum.
Like how a bum has a fire.
A hobo
in New
bum.
York, yeah.
A hobo
like a metal barrel.
Metal barrel, yeah.
And then they rolled me down a hill, and I continued like bouncing down the hill until I hit a concrete wall at DeLand High School. It hurt.
Yeah,
it hurt.
You know what? I appreciate
that. That sounds like something Tom would do voluntarily.
Yeah, the old school
Jackass video.
Yeah.
By the way, have you ever seen? There's some videos out there of people getting inside giant tractor tires, and then they roll them down like extremely huge hills, and they're fucking hauling us, and like what? Like they're probably 200 yards away, and they're going 50 miles an hour, and they're stuck in the tire. And I'm like, oh my god. Like it's insane. Like did that person die?
The G-force would knock you out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They're unconscious and they're rolling down the. It's extreme. But anyway, so
we must have lost Daniel.
Yeah. I know we had a bully on the. I mean, none of this turned out the way I wanted to. And now I'm even more scared.
Maybe it's just all case by case.
I know. But I mean. It just didn't. I kind of wanted to like.
How long has this happened with Tommy?
Nothing. It's just one incident.
One time.
I know, but
you're gonna come to find out this little girl is like a crush on him, and it's gonna be some silly.
But was he bothered? Because that matters too.
No,
it
wasn't.
Yeah, if he wasn't bothered, then I'd say it doesn't even matter.
No, this instance doesn't matter. I'm just saying it was a precursor to the future, and I wasn't prepared for this kind of thing and my mentality towards this thing because what I've seen, I'm just expecting what by the time he reaches middle school, if he goes the course because of his personality and the glasses and stuff like that, it's just like I don't even know if that matters nowadays, but I'm just worried that this will be a problem.
It may not. I'll tell you why. Like Maisie doesn't traditionally. She's only been like picked on once, and then she handled that, but she gets shy around people, which I think makes me think that she cares more about what people think.
Yeah.
So your guys, or at least Tommy in this particular case, it may not even matter because he's seemingly fairly confident. So it doesn't even matter. It's almost like he's impervious to.
Hopefully,
call me weird. That's great. But Maisie, on the other hand, if picking on her, I'll be like, ew, your breath stinks. She'll be like, no, don't say that. Like it matters.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of because that's what I'm going to have to work on is making sure she's more confident.
Yeah,
because she's sensitive.
But I think Tommy's sensitive.
Is he
too.
sensitive?
Yeah. But I think I'm a lot like Tommy. I was a lot like Tommy when I was a kid.
Before your atrocity.
Yeah. I think
you just gotta die, and then he'll be.
That's what I said. I am planning on it.
You gotta get
That's
a boat.
my only plan right now.
We got the bully on line
Step
1.
1, get a boat. Step 2, take it out to sea.
10 years from now, around it, when a hurricane comes, I'll just write it on there.
This is Daniel?
Yes.
Daniel, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, thanks for being on the show, man.
So Daniel is our actual bully that he bullied people in school. Daniel, now you wrote me one story, or the story that you gave an example is pretty horrible. So we can kind of go over it. But what was the reason why you started bullying other people? Because I think there's some psychology behind that. A lot of bullies have fucked up home lives and like fucked up childhood, and they end up lashing out at other people because their home life isn't very good and they are mad about it. So, what was the reason why you bullied other people?
Well, I just bullied the rat face. I referenced in the email. That was about it. And
was the person's legal name Ratface? Or?
He's currently still bullying him.
I know.
Very passive aggressive.
I don't know how to even take that. And do you grow out of Ratface, or do you stay a Ratface forever?
With some orthodontic help, you could probably get rid of it.
So you only bullied one particular person?
No, I wasn't that guy. That was just I seen it on the BDM page, so I sent in my story, and I just thought you guys would think it was pretty damn funny because I was embarrassed.
Do you still?
She won in the end. Honestly.
Oh, it was a girl. Do you still come in contact with Ratface?
No, my buddy's. That's my buddy's baby's mother.
Oh.
No, So now tell your story.
So
real
you
quick,
bullied
Daniel.
her and he fucked her, and then they divorced, or like?
Oh no, so we were about 13. We used to pick on the girl and call her rat face because she looked like Mr. Splinter and she was bigger on the bus. And then he got really drunk. I had my first daughter when I was 17, really young. God. And then he slept with her when he was 18. He was a year older than me, and she ended up getting pregnant. And then flash forward 5 years later, we're at a birthday party, and then in front of his family and everybody, she's like, "You used to call me rat face on the bus. What do you have to say for yourself now?" And I was just super embarrassed. Like, well, why are you doing this right now? We're at a kid's birthday party. And that was pretty much a story that happened. So she did win in the end because I looked like a goddamn dickhead.
Okay. She embarrassed you at a kid's birthday party?
Although,
never saw that coming.
The fact that
kid's birthday party.
This would make a great movie.
Although she embarrassed you one time, the fact that she's been holding on to this for so long means that she got fucked up by it, and it's making me worse.
I hope that she said that.
I'm telling you, this stuff does affect you.
I hope she said that to you and then immediately picked up a wedge of cheese and then, and then you're like, see?
Oh, my God, that's so fun.
Also,
all right, well, yeah, that's...
I wanted to ask you about having a kid. You had a kid at 17?
Yeah, I'm 31 now. I've got a 13-year-old, a 7, and a 3-year-old. All girls.
Only the most intelligent people have kids really young.
Definitely.
And from the best upbringing and from the best cities.
Here's what I've always wondered about having kids really young. Did you cream pie the girl?
No, of course not. He put it in his hand and then he started fingering her.
Well, hold on. No, my point is that a lot of people claim that they didn't, or like
they pulled out.
They sort of
people. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Huge cream pie.
Why though?
Well,
why
what the fuck is wrong with you?
At 17,
yeah, but
you knew better.
But it's better.
No, but you know the consequences.
It's probably even better when you're 17. I bet it goes further too. Because it's fresh.
Listen, when I was 17 and 16, I was so scared of getting a girl pregnant because
you never pulled out one time.
I've always pulled out.
Yeah, always.
I don't have a kid.
I even pulled out with a condom on. I jerked it in the condom.
I literally.
Not wearing a condom is the same thing.
It's not the same thing. Let's be real.
It's the same thing. Let's be real.
If you ejaculate outside of the girl, it's not the same thing as ejaculating inside the girl.
I think more comes out inside.
Well,
the girl.
My point is.
Because I think your dick knows. It's like,
exactly.
God, I'm here.
Banana right there. I get it.
Jen has a big orgasm when I...
Calm down, bro. What the fuck's happening?
Yeah,
your wife does not want you saying that.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
No, but...
You're this close to being uninvited to Friday Free Shows.
Go back to your 17-year-old self, and when you're cream
your wife
pieing...
is a fucking doctor.
What the
fuck's wrong with you?
Run a business over there.
What was your... I know people are not thinking at the time or whatever, but why did you do this?
I think a
Because
lot
it
of it was
feels
condom
good.
falls off was a big one for me.
Well, it's not. A better question to be if it happened when I was 30, and you're like, "Why did you do this?" I was 17. There's a perfect answer. I was 17. I was an
Yeah.
idiot.
Yeah.
But when you're 30, you're like,
No,
oh,
but
fuck
you
it, I
don't
got a
think about
job. I'm
that.
30. You're like, like a kid coming into my life probably wouldn't have affected that much at this
How
point.
many girls had you been with before this time?
Not many. I was with the same girl since I was like 13, and then we ended up having a kid when I was 17. So we were together for like 6 years. But it still was a terrible idea.
And at
But
17,
it all worked. I mean, I'm not like living on the streets or anything. I do well for myself. So I just made a mistake when I was a kid. So
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not a mistake.
I mean,
Sorry, I don't
the
mean to like
idea of you doing well for yourself is like, I mean, you barely do well. I can feel it. I mean, I can feel that you're like a kind of a
like I got some brain hand tattoos and stuff.
Yeah, you're a little juggalo-y. Yeah. I mean, you're very. I mean, if CD players were still a thing, there'd be a twisted CD in your CD player.
well, I just like
They're an offshoot of Insane Clown Posse.
I'm wondering when people have kids this young or get a girl pregnant or a girl gets pregnant or whatever it is, they didn't use a condom. Just like
Well, it depends because there's some people that actually want to have a kid that young, and there's some people who have it on accident.
There's a whole series of girls that I see on these, the daytime talk shows that like
They want a baby.
Yeah, they're really young and they want a baby.
well,
Yeah, I'm going with that. She wanted the baby.
Yeah.
Then what?
And
did
then you got the girls that are like, cash me outside, all that. Yeah, there's a whole thing.
Did you contemplate having an abortion at the time when you found
Yes,
out she
I
was
did.
pregnant? Because that happens a lot where people are like, shit.
I contemplate that now.
And then
How
when
does
you
that work?
when you went through with it, what was your plan at that point? You're like, I'm 17 years old. I'm about to have a fucking kid. I'm a kid. Like I couldn't even fucking get close to imagining my own mentality.
You're applying advanced thinking to a 17-year-old
Yeah,
kid,
dude.
man.
Think about when you're 17.
I don't, but when I was 17, I was terrified of getting a girl pregnant. Like scared. Yeah.
But you're
I
like
was
Mr.
terrified of getting
Spontaneous. So
pregnant.
you mean to tell me that if some girl grabbed you at a party and pulled you in the back room, you're going to be terrified? I wouldn't have. I'd have just whipped it out and put it in.
Yeah, I didn't use condoms.
Cream pied away.
The entire, no, I didn't cream pie.
No, yeah, I would have. I think
had
I would
sex
have.
when I was 16 with my wife for the first time. And then a lot of times after that, was 16, 17, 18, 19, every year and every month of my life with the same person. And I was conscious about, hey, don't cream pie because
You also
I don't
weren't
want a
that
kid.
terrified if you didn't wear a condom, though.
Well,
You took your
Thank you.
chances. You took your chances.
Yeah.
And this guy took his chance, and he just.
Yeah, even when
Well,
I
guess
first
what?
met you, you were like,
Thank
yeah,
God.
Crystal's not on birth control, and I'll just pull out. And I'm like, what? That's crazy.
It worked. And then when I was ready to have a kid,
Yeah,
I
but
just
it
stayed in.
only worked because of rando.
Well, you have a lot better chance. I don't know the stats, but I imagine it's in the
I love that.
it's in the 70
but
plus
He tells us,
percentage.
he
That
tells
has
us the
nothing to do with
chances
our-
and then tells us he doesn't know the statistics.
Yeah, but you're missing the point of what we're saying. What we're saying is you're like saying,
I know.
aren't you afraid of doing this? But you continue to do something that was just as risky.
No,
Not just
absolutely
that.
no.
It's a step above a little bit.
No,
Yeah,
it's
but it's
way
still
more.
it's still not protection,
still not
though.
protection.
I agree with Tom.
Yeah.
Way more.
In fact, there's scientifically proven that if the pull-up method can be effective if
Well,
done
it's better.
properly.
It's better than
Delete
straight up
this.
cream pieing up in the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like cream pie, you're like, okay, now
You give zero shit.
yeah, now I have to just base my this gamble on the fact that she's not ovulating now, and that's the only thing you
Don't
got.
say ovulating.
Well, that's the
That's
thing.
gross, right?
Because you know what?
You can't say penis, but you are
Yeah.
willy-nilly throwing out ovulating.
Ovulating
His
is
son's soccer team
First-
are called the Castleberry Ovulators. He's okay with that.
First, I barely know what that means, so that's fine, dude. And
He
second,
thinks it's an offshoot of aviation.
but,
Oh, my God.
But I used to scream this all the time too because everybody's like, "Oh, you can get pregnant really easy." And then I remember when me and my
Some
wife.
people are more fertile than others.
I know, but it's a scientific fact that you have to be ovulating to get pregnant. You cannot get pregnant when you're not ovulating. That
But
we
you don't
know.
even know what that means.
Well,
so what good does that do you?
It's when the egg falls from your uterus, or
Okay, no
into
matter
your
what, it
uterus,
says
or-
here, no matter what, pull out method,
fallopian tube.
no matter what, just by putting it in without a condom, 5%.
Chance of getting
Yeah.
Okay, but
It's low, but there's something there.
then when you cream pie while you're
Way higher
Well,
percent.
it's way higher,
That's what
but
I'm
my
saying.
point
Way
is
higher.
you were still doing something risky.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is for this guy to then cream pie is that is
Yeah,
like,
but a lot of times you can't control the cream pie. You know, there are even times now, I'm 42, and sometimes my wife and I'll be going at it, and I put it in, I'm like, I'm done, I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on. I'll argue that. I think you can control a cream pie.
Not always.
And you know when it's coming, and you're like,
whoa!
whoa!
Well, but sometimes it's a half cream pie. Sometimes it's like, I'm coming as it's coming out.
Whoa, no,
That's called the bloody sword.
I must be
It's like you're pulling it out of someone's abdomen, and there's a trail of blood is what I was going for. But I can think of a better analogy than that. But everybody's done that. Like, I don't think the times that I wanted to not cream pie and I was pulling out, it was a half in, half out scenario.
Really?
Yeah, almost always.
Oh, wow.
We have a girl on the line that wants to talk about bullying.
Okay, what line?
Line one.
I must be the best. I must be the best at the pull out ever because I never.
Oh, now he's the
16 years, man. I'm either that or shooting blanks. I don't know.
Well, you smoke enough
Travis
weed.
with me,
He smokes enough weed. He
I
probably
did
does
Stony
shoot blanks.
Baloney pull-out brothers.
Hold on, I waited. Like, when did I have my first kid? Like 20,
God.
31. So yeah, I 16 years as well. Then
you guys should dock each other.
Yeah.
I did 16 years of pull out. Nah, fine.
Yeah.
Well, you could put him inside of you.
That's kind of weird.
Then I did a full year of cream pie on the ovulation schedule. Like we were doing it within the week of ovulation,
Yeah.
and then nothing for a full year.
I did one inside my wife pregnant.
All right. Who's online? Jessica.
Jessica, what's up?
Yeah. Hi there. I'm just trying to call about a girl's perspective on being bullied.
How do you feel about cream pie before we go to bullying? Do you vote yes or no?
I love it.
All right.
I love it. I love that song. Cream pie. I love it.
Yeah. Also, to the girl, I know it's harder for the girl to control, but she could at least tell the guy.
Well,
like,
it's
listen,
easier to she could push you off at any
Well, it
moment.
depends which
but
angle.
A lot of times, a guy that young will start to have an orgasm. I think getting embarrassed that he happened too quick, and then he'll just go through with it and keep going.
And won't tell her.
And when you're a teenager, you can power through it more. You're an old man.
You know what
like
I
me.
want to do?
I've done for 45
You know what
minutes.
I want bucket list? I want to like be pumping my wife and then come, and then she's like, "Are you done?" And I'm like, "I'm working up another one." I want to be able to do that.
yeah. Some people can do
Yeah,
that.
I see guys online do that. I'm like, this guy's a goddamn
They
animal.
got to be on Viagra, though, right?
I think
No.
when you're younger, I think you could go through it.
Yeah.
But that's anyway. So, how were you bullied, ma'am?
Okay. Well, I'm kind of like from you. I came from San Diego, which is mainly, I was a minority. I'm a white, blonde, blue-eyed. I was around Spanish. I came here when I was 10 years old, and the black girls hated me.
You sound
I had
Spanish,
big
by the way.
boobs. Do I?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nope. So they picked on me all the time. Like, they would say, like, I really like this guy, and then her name was Nika. I'll never forget it, 6th grade. She said, "Oh, he's waiting for you in the hallway." So I got a bathroom pass, and I went to the bathroom, like, tried to find him, and he wasn't there. Came back to the classroom, and she told the whole class that that's what happened. Stuff like that. And then when I got into junior high, they would pick on me in the gym class and corner me in the locker room and fuck with me in the locker room. So
What would they call
Locker
you?
rooms were that was a
What
hard
would they
time
call
for
you?
girls.
Yeah.
I don't. They just always white girl this. Oh, you think you're this. You think you're that.
That's
blah,
not
blah,
an
blah.
insult.
And I didn't.
It is when you're the only white girl.
It is.
I mean,
And, like,
it's
Sam,
intimidating.
I'm as big as Sam, like in the chest. And as
Hey there, job guy.
10, 11,
Fuck
12.
you.
But the whole thing is, like, this started because my son is 7, and he's getting bullied too.
Oh, no.
And he's not understanding the concept of bullying. So I'm trying to give him stories of what I went through. And, of course, it's different because I'm a female. And females are really secretive about it. But it did make me stronger.
Well, you guys
I
do
actually got
that.
in a
You guys do that
Psychological
bullying
bullying,
that in a lot of ways I'm not
Give
looking
girls
forward to.
eating disorders and
yeah,
shit.
I'm not looking forward to that with Maisie because I
Oh.
know, like, as soon as she's like, even one inkling of social media, I'm like, oh fuck.
Did you feel like you got tougher from it and you're a better person?
Yeah,
or?
I mean, I wore a same sweatshirt for all of 6th grade because I was so developed that I had to hide myself because the girls
Did you wear a big
guys
sweatshirt?
love
That's
me,
the thing
and
is,
girls-
a lot of girls will be jealous of you, so they make fun of you and pick on you. Like, she's got big titties. Most guys are like, they want to like talk to her, date her, so the girls get pissed at her, then she gets bullied.
Ah,
It's a whole thing.
look
And
who's
I'm
here,
very-
big titties. And the guys are like, yeah,
Yep.
big titties
Yeah.
here.
And I'm a tomboy, so I didn't
Same.
really know what I had, and I'm very modest, so I just felt like so isolated and didn't know who was, they're always picking on me, and it's just sad when the whole class knows.
It sounds like you're still a little bit affected by it, to tell you the truth.
Do you look back
Well,
at...
I mean...
Do you look back at your life and you say, hey, this, I did it, sucked going through it, but I'm better for it? Or do you look back and
No,
say...
it made me exactly who I am. And I was 5 years of karate, and, now my son is... It just made me stronger, but you know what it did? It made me a bitch. Like, I became really...
Big titty karate
See,
bitch.
that's what
hard.
Brian Mike said, too. He cut off his feelings. He
Yeah.
hardened himself. So that's not necessarily a good thing, but it is a coping mechanism, especially when you're a kid and you don't know how to deal with
Big titty
feelings.
karate bitch. Kicking ass. How big are your nipples?
But yeah,
What? I'm going to buy her a gi. I'm buying her a gi.
Push through, ma'am.
Don't say
Don't
push
tell
through.
her to push
Don't tell her
through.
that. Yeah.
I phrased that wrong.
No, it did make me who I am, and it does put off some people that don't know who I am. And when you get to the core, you know who I am. But yes, it has made me who I have become. And I'm trying to teach my son that. But I don't know. My son thinks that bullying is his PE teacher telling him that he's out of a game.
Snowflake bullying.
So I was trying to explain to him what bullying is, and I said, that's not bullying. That's a teacher.
He bullied me by telling me that
the
I'm bad
rules.
at athletics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right as far as like now the description, the interpretation
the
of bullying
shift.
has become more to a point where like someone like some kid like hey, your shoes are old or whatever, and like oh my god, you're bullied like. I feel like back in the day, like our grandparents, when they got bullied, they literally like physical violence, like
it's different.
He hit me over the
I
head.
never said a word to anybody about it ever when I was younger. Never said a word.
Do you think there's
and it's
Yeah, like my dad was bullied at a public pool when he knew my mom, and they weren't dating, but that's how long they knew each other. This is like old school type shit. And the guy that was a lifeguard happened to be like a tall, skinny guy. And my dad was like a stockier, shorter guy. Not fat at all, but just, like he's just a short guy.
Yeah.
And the lifeguard guy said some shit to my dad, and my dad just walked over to the guy and told him to get down because that's how you handled your, that's how you handle. And he got down, and my dad broke his nose right there at the pool, like punch him in the face.
Also, there's like hardcore instances of bullying, like in the 70s or even older than that, where like they used to tie you up to the fucking field goal post and like stick things in your ass and shit. Like football players, like it gotta. You remember the hazing? People have died doing hazing and shit.
I was reading one on the BDM page after I made that post, and some guy was saying that a kid every day would follow him like behind the bus stop and kick him in his asshole with his cowboy boots, and it would make him bleed.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna kick you in your asshole with my boots until your asshole bleeds.
That's fucking severe, man.
Oh yeah. That's where So
why am I doing this? Because you like Pokemon, and that's
it's
gay.
just weird because they're teaching bullying situations in school right now, and it's a completely different world. And my son thinks he's getting bullied by the teacher.
They're making the kids
because
soft.
because he's saying I'm going by the rules, but she's kicking me out of the game. But I'm following the rules, and I said that's not really bullying. It's just the teacher trying to move things along.
How old is he?
My kid he's 7 and he's sensitive too.
Yeah, he's still pretty young. I mean, like, I think the concept that, you'll just have to, not that I know what I'm talking about, but you'll just work with that concept until he gets it.
Well, how do you harden your son or your kids? Like, how do you?
Obviously, you kick him in the asshole with a cowboy. You idiot.
I'm gonna go buy one. I only need one.
Just one. You put it on your hand. You don't even need to put it on your feet.
Yeah.
Come over here. I got to kick your asshole. You're tapping it.
He was getting bullied at the
You
church
start with a
event not
light
too
tap.
long ago.
Start with a light tap, and then when you're really jamming it in there, you put the metal tips on it like my Mexican friends had.
And I told him to hit back this kid that hit him twice at this new church event that he went with a girlfriend of mine.
Church school
and he
time.
said, well, Mommy, I don't want to hurt somebody.
Yeah,
he's a good kid.
sometimes
I
you
saw-
have
That's
to.
be like.
I saw that on the BDM group too, where some guy was like, I kept getting bullied and bullied and bullied by the same guy, and then finally I stood up to him and I kicked his ass, but then I went home crying, even though I won because I felt bad that I hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I felt bad the first time I pushed a kid in front of a train.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was bad. And that walk home was like one of the longest walks of my life.
Thank you for calling in.
Actually, it was the longest walk of my life. It was about 18 miles home.
He was my ride.
I killed him in Daytona and had to walk to DeLand.
I've really learned next to nothing for this whole. How
do you think?
I have no information that is pertinent.
Let's grade your bit.
I don't know. I was hoping that I'd
wait
get
till you
some.
get to my game. It's gonna really be worse than
Sounds
this.
like everybody that got bullied, it still affects them as adults.
Yeah.
So
She sounded affected
Everybody
still, and I
did.
think I am too.
I was kind of looking to they bullied me and they like racially bullied me, and then you know what? I'm Barack Obama now. Like, that's what I wanted instead of
I'm Michael Jordan.
Brian Mike, like I write podcast music.
he does a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm bullying him.
You
know
are.
what? I
Also,
called. I wanted victims to call in so I could bully them.
Owen from the Oh No Radio Show sent myself and Dan some audio of you bullying him, Tom. He said you like skinny shamed him.
What?
I don't know when this was.
What?
But
It's audio.
That's not
yeah,
real
he
bullying.
Sent, he sent
Did
an
he send
audio
it to me?
Yeah, he said he sent it to you.
I don't have it.
Oh, I don't know.
Unless you
Owen.
got kicked
Can
in
you-
the
can you
asshole,
forward that?
I don't consider it bullying.
Forward that to me, Sam. I
He
want
sent
to.
it to me via Facebook Messenger.
Oh, is it Facebook Messenger? Let me check in there. I might have
He
it.
said that I
That
skinny
he
shamed
says
him.
I
that
got
time
it.
Tom bullied me.
I got it. I got it right here. Let's see. Let's see what this.
Where
Tom
was this
bullies
at?
a lot of people.
He does.
No.
He claims to be the nicest
I
person.
know.
on the
Making you
show.
stronger.
And all right, here we go. This is Tom.
Based on zero evidence I've learned today.
Here we go. Let's see.
I've heard that. Well, yeah, when you're like a freak of nature like that.
Yeah.
Or like Owen from On a Radio Show just said how he gets kind of like skinny shamed because he's a smaller guy, you know.
Yeah, he's super lean. Yeah.
Tell him to fuck
And
off.
but-
Everybody wants to be skinny.
But that's the thing.
You know how hard I work?
Tell him to fuck off.
Yeah. You know, my wife
I
would tell him the
love
same
Owen,
thing.
man.
Every
Owen-
woman.
Owen rules.
They shame me because I'm too skinny. Fuck you. All right. Well, yeah.
That wasn't that bad, Owen.
Yeah, you're too sensitive. Also, I bet you 90% of the female listeners agree with me because my wife says the same thing. She's like, yeah, these girls are complaining they're too skinny. Fuck that girl.
Yeah, but that's not
I
the
know.
right thing to say because some of these girls don't want to be that skinny.
I know. I'm not talking about eating disorder things.
I'm not either.
You know.
People have medical conditions, Tom.
I know. Daddy Longneck. There was a guy.
You're gonna tell him fuck you too?
No, he's rich. Richer than all of us.
Well, he's at least for right now.
It won't
Yeah.
last long. I've seen his skits and they're confusing and they're not good. I saw a guy and maybe one of our listeners has seen him too, but he works at the parking cubicle thing where you pay for parking at Legoland.
Oh, okay.
And he had the same thing that Daddy Longneck has. He
has like the extended super neck.
Yeah, not only that, but he was super skinny. Like he obviously had some sort of disorder, and but I was like, oh, that's the same exact.
Yeah.
Like, he had the same body type, exactly.
They can't keep on weight.
Yeah.
It's like an actual thing.
Man, what is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, in those cases,
I mean, you can look it
feel
up.
bad.
I don't even know his real name.
I know. It's got to be out there somewhere. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it. But yeah, that guy's got like some sort of disease that won't allow him to keep on weight. In the inverse of that, there are people that have medical problems. I mean, you see this a lot from like people that get into car accidents and then they gain a lot of weight because they have like debilitating injuries or maybe they can't walk as well. Stuff like that.
I know.
I know what mine is. It's just this job and laziness.
Yeah, if everyone just gave a shit about themselves and stopped fucking worrying about everybody else, the world would be a better place.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, let's take a break. I've learned, like I said, nothing, and I've actually contributed to the
you're
world
a
being
bully.
a worse place. I was bullied when I was in middle school. I had long hair. I
But
looked
you're
like a girl.
perpetuating the cycle.
I know.
And then you're mad that some kid's doing it to your kid.
When did you lose your titties? Because you had titties, right?
Yeah, got them. Yeah, and middle school,
Yeah.
like right
Mine
after,
fluctuate. I lose, like I'm losing them now because I'm losing weight. But man, I needed to lose my titties.
right after elementary, like 5th grade. the summer of 5th grade, like the hormones kicked in and got fat.
You got
It
buzzed.
was the summer after 5th grade. Doom, doom, I got some titties.
And I was called ma'am and girl a lot because then I grew my hair long and I had to smooth.
This'll help.
Yeah.
I'll
I
grow
did
my
the wrong
hair
thing.
long and I'll squeeze these things into a bra.
So I looked like a girl, and then I had long hair.
Was it shaved underneath
Yeah,
ponytail?
yeah. I never did a ponytail. It was just long. I put it behind my ears.
Did you do part it in the center?
Oh,
Yeah, you always put it. You
Part
tuck
of
it
the center,
behind your ears.
tuck it behind, so I had long hair, and then
You
I
thought
had
you were a surfer dude.
A womanly had buds.
Yeah.
Because I had
Puffy nipples.
Oh yeah, I didn't start, and then I lost a little bit of weight in high school, but through that whole middle school, then I got long Jinko jeans, chain wallet.
How much money to shave your head and bleach it Eminem style?
You don't have enough money.
Right now. Really?
Yeah. I'll do it for 10K.
Would you do it for 10K?
Yeah.
Your wife would be
Ooh,
so
let's crowdfund it.
Yeah, if we
that's fine. I'll do it for
crowd
10K.
for
That's
10K.
about who wouldn't do that for 10K?
I don't know if I'd do it.
Not for $10,000
That would
cash.
be really
It grows
embarrassing.
back.
Yeah. I'll bleach. I'll do
My
about
hair's
anything.
pretty close to being buzzed though right now, I guess. So
I'll get a tattoo of basically anything for 10K as long as it's not visible.
Oh man, we'll do that.
And nothing racist.
Back piece?
What if it's a dick right on your butt cheek going into your butt crack?
Yeah.
10,000.
The only person's gonna see
Yeah.
it's your wife, and you said she doesn't even see your butthole, so she probably won't even see it.
What if it's
The dick.
what if it's like a
Can I get it removed later on, or I have to have it?
Yeah,
you
you
have
can
to
get it
have it
removed.
for a solid
10 year
5
pol-
years. Okay, 5, 10.
I say 10.
10 years?
10 year for
No,
10K.
I'd say it only has to keep it a year.
No
then
one's
get it
even
removed.
gonna
1,000 a
see it.
year.
Would you get my face on your chest and I'm like, like the Steve-O?
For 10K.
10K. Because I think I could crowdfund that, and that would make the news.
It has
Gotta
to be
be
more
me,
because
though.
I was talking about bleaching my hair for 10K, and that's a fucking easy fix.
No, you already agreed to it.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
You're
the tattoo.
the one that offered the tattoo up. We didn't even suggest that.
You're
you
right,
did.
you're right. But now that I'm
You're
seeing the
an
severity,
idiot.
the
Yeah.
dick and the Daniel's face, I was thinking more of a cat in a hat riding a flaming 8-ball type
Okay.
of
Yeah. Well, that's
kinda
actually
funny.
that's
Who would
kitschy
do
cool.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you start bringing dicks in the
How about
equation.
Fred Flintstone with a boner, Wilma sucking it?
I always
Oh,
bring dicks into
now
the
it's
equation.
okay.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo with a boner ejaculating on a bagel.
17K.
All right.
Odd number.
Yeah, odd tattoo.
I thought about 20. I was like, back it down. I mean, too much. All right.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN, our show at tomanddan.com if you want to throw an email. This is Nick Waterhouse. The name of the song is Wreck the Rod, and it's awesome. Daniel got high and created a game. Daniel got high and created a game. Daniel got high and created a game. Hi. I got a game.
All right.
Do you want to play it?
Yeah. What do we got here?
Hold on. I got to get my stuff here. Here we go. See if this works.
Hello, Tom. It is me, Jigsaw. You've been handcuffed to a bed, and you're blind, but your cell phone's in your hand. Who captured you? It's me, and I'm asleep on the floor right now in the same room. How do you text somebody? Go!
All right. So, let me get this
let me
straight.
turn that up.
I'm blind.
You're blind, yes.
Like something over my face or whatever.
I was thinking more that I gouged your eyes out with my dick.
So, and then the person that's holding me captive,
Yes.
is asleep on the floor.
Yes.
Because my initial first thought was voice text.
I knew you were going to think that.
Siri just to voice text my wife, help.
But if you do that, I will wake up
yeah.
and I will continue to fuck your eyes.
So can I text someone?
Well, it all started. Look,
With
everything goes back to me being high. So I'm laying in
Yeah.
bed and I'm high, and I'm like, how would a blind person? Well, it started with I don't know why I went here. It started with me being blind, handcuffed to a bed with my cell phone in my hand, and the killer or the person that kidnapped me is asleep on the floor. That's the first thing I thought of.
You
by
had
the
a
way.
sleep mask, and then Andrew's asleep
It
next
probably,
to you.
It probably had to do with my Manta sleep mask, yeah. But then it went from there to like, oh, well, what if a blind person's on a date? And then I laughed about blind date, and I was like, no, it's not a blind date. And then they're on a date, and they don't want to be on the date anymore, so they can't like grab their phone and text their friend, hey, call me in like 12
Why not?
minutes or so, because you'd have to voice text.
No, you don't.
How's a blind person going to text?
Don't do a touchscreen phone. You have like a BlackBerry, something where you know where the buttons are.
How are you going to read the message back?
You can't read the message back.
Well, then how do you know that they got the message?
You just hope to God.
I'm telling you.
Hold on. So, okay, my phone.
All of this comes back to, I mean, I didn't have to do the serial killer asleep on the floor and you're handcuffed to the bed, but that's the first thing I thought of. So I'm just being honest with you guys.
Hold on. So, okay. Let me, okay. With my eyes closed, can I open my phone, hit in the password, then go to where
like stupid EJ, voice to text. No, EJ, you're going to wake up the murderer.
Yeah, with my fingers only.
Idiot.
Can I open up my phone, hit my password, then open up like the recent calls or the text, because I kind of know where it is, you know. But I'm looking, I was like, the text is one over from the calls down on the bottom. So if I hit that,
do you guys have a thing where if you do a certain thing, it'll automatically dial 911?
On my phone? No.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that.
You can do that? Do I need to do that?
I mean, if you're in this situation.
Why don't I just open my phone and hit 911?
Well, I'm saying if you're blind.
Okay, I'm going to try it right now.
Oh, for blind people, I think they would go, hey, Siri, and then they do the whole thing.
No, I'm saying you can hold the button and swipe once, and then you can call 911.
No, I don't want that kind
There's
of power.
like an emergency.
Are you Android or an Apple phone user?
Oh, what is?
Don't call him here, bro.
Yeah. If you hold down the side.
Yeah, don't do that, dude. I got weed.
Yeah.
But without
It's
that,
medical. How dare
Yeah,
you.
I got that. I just wouldn't think to do it.
Okay, but so
Good as dead.
let me try this. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna type in my password.
Yeah, I accidentally did it from the
6969.
toilet. Juan's reminding me when I accidentally did that thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I called
yeah,
the
yeah,
cops
yeah.
to my house.
And then I'm gonna
Let's
try.
see if you can do it.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Here's
okay,
the blind text challenge.
so I'm closing my eyes. And
Keep your eyes closed and pretend that I fucked your eyes with my cock.
But did you pull out?
I'd be like, yeah. Okay.
No, never pull out. Doesn't feel the same.
And then I'm pushing the jizz out of my eyes.
No, push it out. I'm pushing it back in.
This is
I'm
out.
using my hands like
Eye
I'm-
crusties.
All right,
Yeah.
so
I feel like you're
first thing,
cheating.
I'm hitting my home button. No, okay, this is 100%.
No, he's fine. He's not gonna.
If you don't do this correctly, you'll be my concubine forever.
So, I'm gonna hit the home button. That's gonna bring up what I imagine is the password, and then I'm gonna try to hit 6969. That's my phone password. So Dix9.
Dix9. 6'9", Dix9. That's what I say.
And then
Oh, I hope X videos opens up.
that should have opened my phone.
Your
I'm gonna look behind you. Hold on.
Is it open?
Hold on.
Yeah, it's open.
No.
Yeah, it's open.
I feel like
Yeah, it's open.
Yes, it's open.
it is. It open?
It's open.
Yeah.
But you are in
I
the
don't think
middle of a text
Now
message.
quick.
I don't know if I should read it.
Go to your search bar and type in penny packs. X
You're in the middle
videos.
of a text message.
Yeah, it's a text.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna re-hit the text messages. The problem is then texting someone is gonna be difficult.
Yeah, but
because
like,
I
now
have no
keep
idea.
in mind too that if you fuck this up, then your phone, you're gonna have to like hit the side of it to reset it. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah,
you're gonna lose track of where you are on your own
Impossible.
phone.
I'm surprised that I even opened up the lock.
You did.
I think I could do it. Okay, hold on.
Our guest is saying you didn't do it at all.
No, it was
was
never
never
locked.
locked.
Okay. Well, I
All
thought
right,
it was. Hold on.
So if I'm sitting here, I could use my face to try and open it up.
okay, yeah,
So I go that. I hold
I
in my
think you have to have
face.
your eyes open.
Yeah,
and open
but-
it with your face.
Oh, do
Yeah.
I? Did it open?
No, it's black screen.
Oh shit.
Swipe
Okay.
to unlock.
Oh,
But
no.
No, it's not getting your face. You have to. Have your
Well, I would.
If you had a blindfold on, you won't be able to see any of that anyway.
No, I'm not gonna have a blindfold on. I'm blind. So
Eyes missing.
It
Sorry.
would still open because or would it?
No.
Would my phone?
Could you, with your eyes closed, even enter your
Okay,
password?
I'm gonna blur my eyes.
I
Okay,
apparently
now
I
I'm
can,
looking at you and I'm holding it up. No, it won't open when I blur my eyes.
What, the facial recognition
Uh-uh.
won't? No, hold on.
Wait.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go. Like,
yeah.
it would know. It would know a blind like a blind person that has an iPhone X. Would it read their cloudy eyes?
Because it has nothing to do with your eyeballs. It's just your face and then the width.
Yeah, but
I think it measures a bunch of things.
But you would have to have somebody hold it up to you and like swirl your head and everything, do the whole. I don't think a blind person would use an iPhone X.
No. Because Samantha's right.
Or they disable the facial recognition. They'd be more of a thumb guy. Right?
Well, you would have a flip phone or a BlackBerry style phone with the braille on the numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, but my point is that the person that's going to make $1 million or $1 billion is going to be the guy that comes up with this phone where somehow I can braille text, which we know you can already do. But it's like maybe it's a screen, and as I put my thumbs on it, it just gives me tiny, like haptic touches or electrical
vibration.
Yeah, and that's like electronic braille. I'm telling you right now, it's a fucking $1 billion idea.
All the voice recognition stuff has
but sometimes
surpassed.
you want privacy. Sometimes you don't want to, how crippled are you as a disabled person who's blind when everything you do has to be audible?
Yes, but
no secret.
That's the life they have now been signed up for.
Yeah, but I'm trying to give them a better lifetime through technology. I'm the Elon Musk of blind phones.
I think if we have some blind listeners, and we have one I've talked to before multiple times, and it'd be interesting to find out how he does use his phone. But I imagine it's all voice now, and then he just reads his text, and or the phone tells him his text, and everything is all.
Yeah, we have a guy a
voice.
BDM, and he emailed me, and we were going back and forth with emails, and then he had to explain to me because I was like, "Why can't you get this through your head?"
There's it has to be everything voice, because there's like the braille aspect of it is probably more of a pain in the ass. So they wouldn't want to go back to braille.
No, I think braille
just for privacy.
No, that's their language. It's fast.
Yeah, they know.
You ever seen a blind guy just cranking through?
Well,
man?
I'm saying on a phone where if they would probably just opt to do voice text.
I think braille.
I do voice text now more than I do.
But maybe they're trying to text something, about the person next to them. They're not going to talk it into their fucking phone.
Yeah, I think I think it would be easier and more accurate to use braille. Voice text is never accurate. I can always tell when you're voice texting. It's all over the place.
Oh, it's
There's
good.
no punctuation.
You can get the gist of what.
Yeah, but I don't want to get the gist. That's actually making me work harder. I should just read what you wrote.
Yeah, we have to decode what you're trying to say all the time.
It's but how would you even? I guess you were just saying like some sort of pulse on the actual
micro vibration, or
haptic micro vibration, electronic a zap.
I don't think the market's big enough for phone companies to put that much technology.
Oh, it'd just be
inexpensive.
Insurance would cover X amount. You would pay for X amount. Yeah,
I don't think there's enough blind people.
Yeah, medical equipment's not a $1 billion industry.
Well, all I'm saying is that I don't know if there's the market's big enough for.
There's a lot of blind people in the world.
But is it enough to then come up with a complicated technology?
They had that big RoboCop boot that for people like or JJ Watt's stupid knee braces. There's enough people in the world to make that an industry.
Yeah.
You don't think there's enough blind people that need a phone that gives them some privacy?
Maybe not enough that would want like you'd have to be
Danielson.
You would want privacy and not care about the voice text, and like you would be like, I don't know.
I think it would be more efficient. I think if they had a way, I bet you they can type on a braille typewriter or computer keyboard faster than they can voice text something that's going to be inaccurate.
Yeah, because then you got to listen back, make sure it's right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think voice text has gotten pretty good. Like
I still hate it.
The technology is pretty good now.
It's garbage, and then you still got to wait, and then it reads it back, and then you got to go send.
My Apple Watch is way more accurate than my phone is. Yeah, I have the newest Apple Watch, and it's
humble
way more accurate.
Throw some toilet paper on the corners.
And it's only getting better. So, like in a year from now, I mean, they're eventually going to get voice text down to where it recognizes the differences in your own cadence, and like it starts to become personalized. Like you start talking to it.
How often do you go like, bring the potato salad? Oh, fuck, stop. Bring the... And then you got to start the whole fucking sentence over again.
But no, I know it's not perfect.
It's a hunk of shit.
It's better, way better than it was even 2 years ago.
And better than that is my thumbs.
Yeah.
Fast.
But...
and you can't emoji.
Can you voice text a?
You can, but you have to know every single one. You're like
Eggplant
heart with
emoji.
2 diamonds, arrow through it, spinning.
I don't like emojis anyway. I don't use them
That's
at
why I
all.
always send them to you.
Yeah, I know. I hate them.
And I double up on them. If it's a text just to you, I go like sunglasses, heart, taco, award.
Don't put emojis on your phone. It's
Why?
Those are baby. That's for babies.
Tom
No, it's
hates
not.
This is
Not
true.
for babies.
No, yeah, like.
Are you saying they're weird? Are you gonna bully us?
Yeah.
Are we weirdos?
Not your weirdos, which are babies. Don't put your fucking happy face emoji.
I'm gonna send emojis to you
Just-
only.
Oh yeah,
Send me
he
nothing.
really hates that when I'm like,
I'm a
like,
tiger.
Hey
yeah.
guys, hope we have a great Monday morning, and it's me like an emoji. I've got a flat brim hat on, and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm so angry.
In fact, just send me a period back, like from the end of a
Oh.
sentence,
A picture
just
of my period.
just
picture.
to confirm
Tampon.
that you received the message. That's all I need. I don't need a happy face. I don't need a thumbs up.
You
Nothing.
need a dot sent back?
It's just a
Just a
dot. Just to tell me that you received the message. I'm good to go.
Yeah, but
I
you
don't need a
never
happy
send us
face.
a dot
Yeah, you
telling
never
us.
do that.
Yeah, I would know. I'm like, help me, I'm dying. You'd be like, well, whatever.
You guys send me a bunch of nonsense that are not relevant.
dare you.
It is. It's not nonsense. It's including
asked
you
you,
in a
is this-
conversation that could quite possibly make the relationships that we have on the air better, tighter, and more streamlined.
Or I
will-
ask you, hey, are 2 grains of rice concentrate going to blow me out of the water? or
Yeah.
I
what?
responded to
No,
that.
you did not.
Yes, I did. I'll go to a group text.
No,
It's
it wasn't- I
filled-
sent you one personally. You never responded.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
you
an
didn't send him nice
emergency.
stuff. You sent him nice stuff too. You're like,
It could've been.
Hey, happy anniversary. I hope you guys, like, hey, here's to the best life. Well, fuck you. Never.
Never response. Never.
I'm bad at responding to text, but
But you're always on your phone. It makes no sense.
well, I'm doing business. Serious
the-
business.
No, you're not.
The
Yes,
first
I am.
20 minutes of his computer time is just him staring at Google, like doing nothing with his hands on the keyboard. I think he's
gambling,
sleeping.
grifting.
I
It takes a while for that engine to make a full rotation. Then
your guys, you Travis, all your group texts, most of it's nonsense. That's why
It's about 50-50.
when you guys send me
it's a
something
good life work balance. I
that
think.
you need information back, it's kind of the boy who cried wolf. You send a bunch of nonsense, so I don't pay attention to it. It's your own fault. If it was only
Now we're getting bullied. Coworker bullied.
Welcome to the audio reading of Tom Van's The Boy Who Cried Woof.
some of this I can't read.
Yeah.
A lot of nonsense here.
There's
Just how
some
you're
stuff you
going,
can't
some
read.
jokes. You guys are.
Put a Momo in there.
Yeah,
Momo challenge.
Yeah.
Throw a Momo in
Half
there.
of it is just jokes and nonsense.
It makes the relationships here
Do you
better
wanna
than
try your
just coming in here like the old old Nazi Tom. He's like, you must do fuck and fuck only.
Do you want to try your 6 degrees of grifting
Okay.
game?
Yeah,
Let's
this is
do
my,
it. We're really finishing with the D material.
I thought of a game the other day. I was like, I wonder if no matter what someone asks for, if there was someone on my phone that I'm at least within, I even say I think I can get it within 3 degrees.
Yeah, I think we both agreed 3, right?
Of getting this person at least closer or kind of solving the problem, no matter what. Like if you're, obviously the easy things like plumber, building, anything like that.
You gotta go harder than that.
So I asked Samantha to put up on the BDM page some things to try to stump me. Then I can go through my phone and I could figure out whether, within reason. Now, I can't prove this stuff, but I could probably, get to the goal of what these people need just based on the contacts on my phone. I've been building this for like 10 years on my contact list. I used to do it on the Monsters back in the day where I just hey, call in, tell me what you do, and I'll put you in my phone. And then if I never need
Excellent question in the Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomAndDanLive. Our Twitch manager, Juan, asked how many times are you able to pull the Tim Murphy card.
As many times as it applies.
I mean, I
right?
guess, but I think arguably, I don't
I
think
got a lot of Tim Murphys in my phone.
He really does. In fact, he's got some that are make Tim look like literally a level
Well,
1.
everything that I wrote down, I don't think Tim Murphy would have a hookup.
Because I have no idea. I mean, listen, even the first the first 10 A's on my phone is AC Guy Josh. I have no idea. This is old school. Aaron Flamingo. Aaron Flowgrown. That's from the t-shirt company Flowgrown. Aaron Garcia. No idea who that is. Aaron Seth's friend. Acid Man. Adam Boat Mechanic. Adam Church Street. Adam Poker. Adam Ember, Adam Jersey Mikes.
I know all these. I know all these Adams.
Akeem Woods, Al Shabooms. I got Alan Wesco dealer. If you need some Wesco pistons for your dirt bike, I'm telling you, that
goes deep.
I have maybe 100 A's of different people.
How many
and
total contacts do you have in your phone?
Can you even check that? How do you know?
Sure.
I have no idea.
Yeah, if you go to contacts, I think, and you scroll all the way up to the top, it'll give you a number.
Okay, hold on.
That's
Let's
insanity.
see. No, I don't.
You got 100 A's. Oh my god.
I don't know how many, but anyway, I've been building this list for lots of time. I think I could.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Number 1, chimney sweep. Yeah.
Chimney sweep.
Well, no, hold on. Let's think about this for a second, because this is a group activity. Do you have anybody British in your phone?
Or Northern.
Here's the problem.
Butler's going to be your first. I think the first person you call is Butler. Butler then calls his parents, and then his parents probably know a chimney sweep.
Well,
that's 100% accurate.
Right? Did I get that one right?
Okay, so I knew I know a former employee that lives in England at this point. Probably pissed at me.
Oh yeah, don't call that guy.
No, he likes you.
Yeah, you're right.
That guy is a chimney sweep.
Yeah. I could call Lee. He knows a chimney sweep. Bingo bongo.
I'm cleaning one right now. I am.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad. Now,
back to cleaning. Sorry,
I don't
mean to fuck up your day.
I'm looking for chimney sweep in my phone, but because I'm from Florida, not that. But you're right. British guy knows a chimney sweep. Yeah. Bingo bongo.
Either of those
that's
would work.
Easy. Yeah.
Path of least resistance would be Travis, but if you want to call Lee, that's fine.
Number 2, exorcist.
I start with my mom. Is she in there?
Your mom? Yeah.
If you have my mom in there, if you have Carol in there,
I got Carol Dennis in my
she's going to be able to narrow it down. She's also in a smaller city, probably more people that know how to do that.
If that doesn't work, I know a shaman.
Rural areas.
Well, I
do know a shaman.
I have some priests in my phone or
Catholic?
some people that not a Catholic.
I guess
more
a shaman
of
can't do an exorcism because that is a Catholic thing, right?
Juan brought up a good lead for you is that both of your boys go to a church school.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's going to be an exorcist.
Oh, that's going to be the weird parent-teacher conference.
I'm looking for an exorcist for a bit for my podcast.
Yeah.
But I bet you I've got some pastors. Let me go under P. I bet I have Pastor someone.
Pastor Troy.
And
I love Pastor Troy.
And there is got to be some. Now, these are harder than I expected.
Well, Daniel, aren't
See,
you?
I got the
Daniel's
good
an
ones.
ordained minister, aren't you?
I am.
There we
But
go.
that doesn't mean
Can't do
You were
exorcisms.
very confident that
Can only
anything
marry.
you could find a connection
We
to.
can find the YouTube link. We'll
I for
figure it out.
sure know. I have a pastor or a man of religious.
pastor man
who works in religion that for sure knows an exorcism.
I know
right?
a Baptist preacher that I grew up with.
Preach.
He went to Notre Dame and.
Yeah, that's pretty Catholic.
Got some guy named Rambo.
Oh, he can shoot the ghost out.
I got Repo Dave. I'm in the R's now.
Well, it says he played a shaman in World of Warcraft. God damn it! Can you get any nerdier one?
Pedro Lima.
Oh, you do know Eddie the shaman. I don't know if he does exorcisms.
But he might be able to. I'm sure he knows somebody that can do that.
I'll take some peyote and figure it out.
Airbrush Pete.
See, I told you this is going to be a relatively easy game for you.
Yeah,
like Airboat Pete.
Pilot of 747. I have
just as pilot.
A police dog, pool guard.
Wait, you have the number of an actual police dog?
Is that the one that shit everywhere at the?
How does he dial?
Oh no, that was a
911?
frisbee dog. That was a frisbee dog. Hey, did you know that they
powder coater Rodney? The powder coater.
Did you know they brought that frisbee dog back for the halftime of the Orlando Apollos?
Oh, really? It was
the
the
diarrhea
same
dog.
one?
Well, I think it was the same guy, but different. Because they, those dogs.
Are they doing goof halftime
Oh
shows?
yeah, and it spray shit crazy.
I wonder where
again.
they got
Yeah.
that idea.
But at least the diarrhea was orange, and
So
their colors are
we
orange.
giving Tom a pass on Exorcist?
No,
or
I
what?
think we can do it. I definitely think
Okay.
he can do it.
I got a prosthetic leg, Rob.
Oh yeah, we all know him.
All right, next. This one's from D-Rug, my personal favorite. A plug on lean. which means you got a lean connection.
Oh,
that's a one call Johnny.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta go for pain pills.
I got that one. For a while, I was that guy. Remember, they gave me the
If you
jug
got
of
promethazine Pete in there, I'm getting
I
out of
still
here.
got I still get a jug of lean in my closet.
Yeah. I got anybody.
That's what R. Kelly
If I could organize this for time entered into my contact list, like when I could go narrow it down to the monsters, like the heyday, and anybody I put in my list at that point.
You know what? The metadata,
But it
it's
has
probably
to be lean specific.
there.
It can't be pills.
You would probably need some sort of program to do that, but I bet you there's a way to extract
right
date entry,
the entry from your phone and find out when you put it in there.
2016, 2017.
Yeah. Although,
wait, do you have D-Rug's number? Because he might be.
No,
I'd call him. Yeah, joke's on you, D-Rug. I'm just gonna call you.
You're trying to stump me with your own name. I have your number in here.
That's a good move. So that's a fucking good move.
You still stump me with that. I
Well
call you
done.
for lean.
Yeah,
You're like, you know what?
yeah,
Touche.
yeah.
I can't get you that.
Well done.
Molecular geneticist.
Yes, I do
Oh,
that.
how was that one you had immediately?
Andy.
Yeah, he knows some pretty smart cats.
You know what? His ex-girlfriend that we used to live on.
Well, I'm sure he still knows her. He's logical enough to still be friends with her.
You know what? I'm wrong.
Or is that when he goes non-logical?
Well, she kind of
broke his heart.
I think distances herself from him when she's like a molecular Although
does
I don't know.
Facebook count as a step, or is his phone only?
He said specifically his phone book.
No, I was just thinking if he gets on his
contacts.
phone.
Yeah. Now, the only hope I have is call Logic Man Andy and hope that he has his ex-girlfriend in college number. Although when I was on the ski trip with him, he brought her up because we were laughing that she's curing cancer right now, and Daddy Longneck is making more money than she does. And we got a good laugh at how the world works. And then I was like, hey, whatever happened to her? He's like, I have lost contacts, so I may not be able to get
Passing
hold of her.
conversation.
Although if I did somehow, she would know who I was. But probably not take my call.
I think I
because
could find that one too.
This is molecular physicist. I don't even know what that is really.
Geneticist.
Geneticist.
So
that's
that's
a
a
stump.
maybe,
Yeah.
that's a maybe.
No, I'll call that.
When I was a
you
kid,
stumped
I had
me.
a Sega geneticist.
Yeah, that's.
And the last one is sex therapist.
No, he's got an appointment on Tuesday.
Yeah, these are. You know what? There's a horrible bit because
You take a booty eating lesson?
The sex
you do that at
therapist.
Fairville, probably.
Yeah,
I have
Oh
a
yeah,
son.
dude. You could
Fairvilla.
totally call Jackie or Deborah
You're
from
right.
Fairvilla, and
Yeah,
you're done.
I got there. Yeah. But they know.
They at least
They know
probably
somebody
know
who would be able to
somebody,
put you in
right?
touch with somebody.
Yeah.
Dude, in one call, I guarantee you, Deborah can get you somebody who's literally
should
a
do
professional.
that.
You're jumping on like first degrees. Like you have like 6 different links you can use to get.
You gonna let her
these,
talk to you that way?
Well, why should I do that? Because I'm silent. Yeah.
You're gonna do that tonight's your anniversary, buddy. You gotta.
Yeah.
I think tonight you scream for once.
Let it out,
man.
Here's the thing: the kids. I don't want to wake them up because that's
Well,
already.
are they
happened.
in the bed with you? Is that why you're
No,
silent?
no.
Somebody brought that up too. They're like, "Oh, great! It's gonna be Tom, both of his boys, his wife, and a wart dog all sleeping." In the same bed.
No, I know.
Yeah, I'm so
if we
sorry
get a
for
wart
you.
dog, is sleeping with us.
Oh, it's gonna
100%.
stink hot breath right in your face. Caesar does that now. He's like,
Yeah.
and he snores, and he and I love Caesar. I can only imagine if it's a wart dog.
Yeah,
he had a wart. Remember?
Yeah,
he had a cyst on his side, and then it burst, and then now he's perfect dog again. I'm like, you were so close to it. I was gonna fucking get you.
Lena, she had some gland issues too, butt gland, and then
anal glands. Yeah,
You gotta squeeze those things.
no, never squeeze them.
No,
You
you
let the
take it.
pros do that.
the pros do squeeze, but like during the end of her life, they would flare up faster than the vet would squeeze them, and then sometimes they'd release in the bed, and we'd wake up and we'd like, oh god, a dog's anal glands.
It's the worst.
Is the
I'd
worst smell I've ever
I would
heard.
rather smell shit.
Smelled.
I'd
Yeah,
rather.
yeah.
Shit is better.
Yeah, if she was shit in the bed, it would stink less than the anal gland.
Because shit
coming
goes
out.
away. Like shit is only, like okay, if the dog shits the bed, the smell is contained to the shit. So if you take the sheets, bundle them up, shake them outside, then throw them in the washer, your bedroom will now cease smelling like shit. Anal glands, when they burst,
It's oil.
even if you move it out, it's like it's always in there. It's like you have to let it like a month later, it goes away.
I think it's modified. The dog's like it's supposed to be super stinky
Pungent, yeah.
because like a little bit it releases every time it's a mark its territory where it poops.
When they poop, a little bit comes out.
Yeah. And then, but not all at once in your bed. Oh man,
Yeah.
like I thought about burning. My house
Isley used
down.
to do that.
Don't let the dog in the bed.
That's not an option. At least for my wife. It's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then, like maybe when your wife falls asleep,
Your life
you
sounds miserable.
push the dog into a pillowcase and rubber band the end of it.
Speaking of my wife,
And just leave it in there. You know, it can lay in the bed with us, but it has to stay in its pillowcase.
I don't think she can call in now. But this.
What dog are you getting?
We don't know yet, but it'll probably be a rescue dog, and we're in the talks now
I think that's
of
good,
when, and we've determined that sometime this summer maybe the hunt will begin. But she finally broke me down and
I think it's good.
It'll be
fun.
good
The
for
boys
the
will
boys.
like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's the whole reason. I realized that they're kind of skittish around dogs, and we don't want them to be kind of standoffish.
Big
around
dog or
dogs.
little dog? Or just whatever you find.
My wife hates little dogs.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a medium-sized dog.
It's weird because, you would think she'd like all creatures.
The problem is she, from her stepmom, and in all her instances with little dogs, they just pee everywhere, little squirts of pee because they have tiny bladders.
They do.
So your whole house is just pee-pee.
That's true.
And then they're barking a lot.
You have a little dog. I have a little dog. Or is
Yeah.
Caesar a medium dog?
He's little.
But he doesn't pee everywhere. But he's an anomaly.
He's not the Yorkie, the Bichon Frise.
Yeah, but I can't put him in the same category because he's not. He doesn't even act like a little dog.
Yeah,
he's a weirdo.
Yeah. And Caesar does. Yeah, I would love to have a Caesar, but most of the time you're talking little dogs. You're talking bark all the time, pee-pee everywhere.
That's pretty accurate.
So my wife, I laughed about this pretty hard last night. It never even crossed my mind because now I drive my truck, got from Don Mealy Chevy, and my wife is driving the WRX because I got a 3-year lease, and then it's not up, is up like in 8 or 9 months or whatever. So she was fine. She likes driving it because she likes the fact that it's fast and stick shift and stuff. It's fun to drive around. But I forgot, and she mentioned to me yesterday, she's like, when she picks up the kids every day from school, she pulls in with her WRX. Now, mind you, all the other moms are in SUVs and vans and things like that, like the stereotypical mom SUV or whatever.
That bothers me, too, because a lot of them are people like us that have one kid, and they have like an expedition.
Yeah.
It's like, gotta have. I'm like, why?
I know a lot of people without kids that have big SUVs.
You don't need that.
Yeah. And so
Let them have what they
Part
want.
of the problem.
Who cares?
Part of the problem.
she pulls in with the WRX. And
cool car.
Then she gets the and I'm laughing because by the way, all the other moms, like I'm saying, are picking up the kids at the same time, and my wife puts the Tommy and Max in the back of the WRX, and then when you start it, it's loud. It's a whoop, it's got loud exhaust, and then
it sounds great.
She says that all the other moms grab their kids when she first starts it, and then
No wonder your kids are getting made fun of.
Well,
everybody there is a fucking pussy.
Well, she's
sorry, I've had 2 White Claws.
In the she's kind of embarrassed. Because now, what are the other moms thinking? Why is this mom driving a WRX?
Who gives a fuck?
I know.
Mind their goddamn business.
I know, but it's kind
I
of.
think it makes your mom. I think it makes your mom. I think it makes your wife the hot mom.
Yeah.
She's the cool hot mom.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Dude,
They're
you should
jealous.
like that, or do you not like the
the
attention?
girls making fun of the big titty girl.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
jealous.
They're jealous of your hot wife
They
with a
want
badass
that cool
ride.
car.
No
They
one
gotta
wants to drive the
drive
Honda
a
Odyssey.
minivan.
Here's the thing, though. It's not like she's has a Porsche or the WRX is kind of a young.
It's a coveted car.
It's a young person's car. Let's be honest. It's
then,
not a family
in that
vehicle.
Case, then my car is a young person's car because it's the competitor to the. It's in the same vein. It's a hot hatch or like a what do you call those? Like import tuner style car, right?
Yeah, but I mean, most of the time, if your wife's picking up Maisie, she's in her
she's in
SUV,
a mini SUV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can't
argue there.
We laughed that she's picking up the kids in the WRX, and it is.
I think it's cool.
Yeah,
it's stereotypical,
but it's not stereotype. It breaks the mold for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. And I did tell her, I was like,
I wouldn't want to be minivan mom.
It's gonna be funny in later conversations when your kids are older. They're gonna be like, their friends are like, oh, you remember your mom used to roll up in that fucking
Yeah.
WRX? Like, yeah.
No, you know what's funny is it will be that car that I think about this all the time because my dad got rid of all the cars that he loved, like a 63 Falcon with the Cobra engine in it, 57 Chevy, 55, all these like rad cars that he had. And they always came up later, and he'd show me pictures of them, and they were badass. And then I think now, and I'm thinking about you right now, it will. I think Butler's right. It'll be that type of car that later, when you're older and the boys are old enough to have their own cars, they'll be like, yeah, I remember when Mom would drive around the badass blue WRX, and then you guys traded it for the little lease of the SUV. But it will go down as that car, because you're probably not planning on keeping it for the rest of your life. You know?
Well, this whole scenario got me. I mean, you would probably trade it and get a Ascent, a Subaru Ascent, like an SUV,
an SUV.
Because that's more, like
it's
here's
practical,
it's not. Yeah, this is the WRX isn't practical for my wife.
Why?
First it's super low to the ground, and then
the kids are small.
Yeah, but you're bending like for moms, and you don't know this, Samantha.
Oh,
but
now you're mom shaming me.
I'm not mom shaming you. I am mom shaming you. You know what? I'm shaming everybody. I'm tired of pussies out there. But you're saying I'm mom shaming you. I'm saying
Oh, my wife is getting bullied for driving a car instead of a minivan at school.
It is. I could see her being like, "What am I doing here?" And with the WRX, and then carrying the other mom.
Being a standard, it's not practical.
And look, like, what are the other people thinking? I know it doesn't matter, but
clearly
like,
it does.
Why are you driving?
See, I'm not the pussy because I wouldn't give a fuck.
I know, but in this particular scenario, I understood and she doesn't really care. And we laughed about how she's doing this every day.
Someone's gonna call her weird?
No, she doesn't care that much. My wife's not sensitive, but
she's switching her car out.
Well, no. I was like, you need a proper, like, you need a regular mom car. You need to get the Subaru Ascent or whatever. No, I'm just saying.
No, I understand.
It's more practical.
I understand what he's saying. The practicality of the WRX as a mom, and it's primarily her vehicle, is not good.
It's a rally car.
Yeah, it is.
It's a goddamn rally car.
It's a fast little fun car for younger guys.
Yes,
it's the demo they're going for.
And I may have jumped the gun and had a midlife crisis after I got the Subaru Forester.
It's a fun car.
I was like, fuck it, I'm getting a WRX. And then now my wife is driving and putting kids and they're eating the Cheerios in the back.
Not what it was intended to be used for. I agree with that. I think about that too. Like my next car, I think about it. Like, because eventually, the lease on my car will be up and I'll, try to slide into something else. And it's cool because I don't pay a lot because I don't drive a lot, which is nice. But I think, well, maybe I should get an SUV. Maybe I should get something that, we can travel a little bit more in, because my car, my daughter's obsessed with my car though. She loves it.
Yeah.
Because I'll drive her fast in it, which is probably not what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah,
but she's like, let's go fast, and I'll put all the windows down, and I'll blow her hair around. She thinks it's fun,
Again, your daughter will remember that.
I know
that's what she's been talking about.
So that's why there's a part of me that says, well, maybe I should keep one car, Andrea's like practical car, and then we have one car that's kind of like a fun
My
car.
dad had an old Mustang convertible, and my mom had an old Aerostar Ford. It's the same.
And I'd be driving the WRX right now.
Well, like for you, it's going to be dirt bikes. I'm sure the kids will grow. They'll have something to ride. I don't necessarily anticipate that my daughter's going to have a 4-wheeler or something. I mean, she might.
I although just the look of the WRX to your car, I think if someone didn't know, even though they're the competitor, like yours just as fast.
No, it's not just as fast. Yours is a lot faster because mine's a 4-cylinder, right?
Do you think
yours
if your car
is not?
No, it's a 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know you have a lot more. I knew you have a lot more horsepower.
Do you think if your car wasn't so like that electric blue, would that be?
No, it's also electric blue.
That's true.
If it was like a beige or like a champagne color or something like that,
it's a silver.
Something as simple as silver.
It's a Subaru blue WRX that my wife drives into the church parking lot.
I don't see the problem.
I know. Well, you have to.
I see where you're going with that.
I think
seems like a non-issue to me.
It's not an issue, and my wife she's been doing this for the whole fucking school year since I bought the truck. But we laughed about it last night because I did think it's kind of ridiculous she's driving that now.
Why? I don't get it.
Because it's impractical, and that's
why.
basically.
Does she have any issues other than her these other parents being like, "Oh my God, why is she driving that? We all drive SUVs and vans."
When she has the choice, it's easier to put the kids in and out of the truck than the WRX.
No, that thing is tall as shit. I even have to stand up on.
Yeah, but the doors are a lot easier to navigate car seats.
It's bending
and shit
in,
like
right?
that.
Yeah, you're bending in and sticking the kids into a low.
Well, maybe you should let your kids walk into the car like big boys.
I know
Damn,
Samantha's
she's
getting
going
me. I know.
hard on us today.
I knew by bringing up this topic, people wouldn't
They
understand.
gotta learn to use their legs, Tom.
She is concerned about
Why
your boys.
this is funny.
You carrying them.
I actually am concerned they are gonna get more bullied because you guys baby them so much.
They don't want to walk.
Yeah, you gotta make them
and they
walk.
hate adversity. So I steer clear of it. I'm pretty honest about how bad I am.
You don't back away from it.
No, it's not that.
But you don't do anything, and you actually pacify
Doing
them.
anything is hard. Everybody knows that. That's why everybody's fat.
Doing anything is hard.
Like, yeah, I could exercise and eat, right? That's fucking hard.
Yeah.
So guess what? I don't. I could do all these things to make my kids better.
But I don't.
Yeah, it's so fucking hard.
So we'll just buy a new car. solve
Hey, it's
everything.
the little victories.
I like the WRX. I'm just saying, for a mom car.
Then switch. Let her have the fucking truck.
No, that's his Trump truck.
She she wants me to, like, she likes driving the WRX in every other aspect. She likes hauling ass to go show houses, and she loves driving it.
For a real
it's just
tour.
picking up the kids,
Yeah.
and the
So
kids part of it
Then
is
switch out then.
the what?
The WRX in the truck.
Well, that involves now then changing. She wanted, like, my wife, because she keeps her makeup in the golf.
she wants
all
a
her
designated
shit,
ride.
you know?
I get it, yeah.
Because believe me, I told her, it's like, hey, one day you'll take the WRX, one day you take the truck, and she didn't like that because she's like, well, I have all my shit in one place, and then switching back and forth eventually will cause problems because now I'll go someplace without my makeup.
I agree.
All
yeah.
my other files. And
Like
my
I
house
don't want to switch cars
a
with my
dedicated
wife.
car.
Yeah, I don't want to switch cars with my wife. Pain in the ass.
Yeah, back and forth is a pain in the ass.
But she likes driving the WRX. But then
Just not the kid part, and that's the hardest part.
I don't think she even minds, but it's a comical scenario that I knew was going to be hard to explain, but I think people
I
get it. Like,
I think you have to.
The moms out there,
You have to
I
put
understand.
kids-
Sorry, I'm not a mom.
No, but you do have to. Like, if you put Maisie in a car
No
seat a
big
couple of
deal.
times, you'd get it. It's because it's not. It's the shittiest part.
I mean, I've put kids in cars before.
But it's the worst part. Like when you constantly have to do it. It's the reason I don't go out to breakfast with Maisie when it's just me and her alone. Because I got to get her out, get her dressed, put her in the car seat, get to the place, take her out of the car seat, eat, get out, put her back in the. I'm just like, fuck it, we'll cook.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Yeah, it
really is. The car seat detours me from doing a lot of things. Luckily, I have a lot of things around this neighborhood that I can walk to. The car seat, I wish, and I told Andrew, I don't understand why they don't have a simpler car seat. There's little buckles. They fall all the way down. That thing goes under her ass every time, and they're going to reach down. It's uncomfortable. I'm reaching
Pull it
under
out.
her asshole to get the thing, and you got to put the tooth, and then put the thing in the chest, and then line up the strap. And I'm like, fuck it. Can't they come up with a better way? It's a pain in the ass. There should be, like, what if it was just I don't know, what if it was a fucking implant in their back? That when they're born, you put it in.
like
I'm
the Matrix.
Yeah, and then when they sit in the seat, it's and then I'm like, oh god, let's go. You know, so I don't have to do the buckle with the thing. Yeah, I would literally fuse her spine to not have to deal with it.
Samantha, yell at Tanner. You want to implant a goddamn Matrix?
Well,
I hate it. I probably hate it worse than you
He's
do.
being ridiculous. You know he'd never do that.
No, I'm not
He
being
would do it.
ridiculous. Being ridiculous is laying in bed high and thinking of a killer on the ground, and you're blind and you can't text the killer or can text somebody to save you.
It's just funny to hear you guys argue about like this because me growing up, there was no what's easier to put the kids. It's get the fuck in the car. We're going to school, and that's it. Like there was no let's gently pick everybody
I don't
up
do
and put
that.
them in
I
the
mean,
car,
I
and
don't
everybody
gently.
sit down.
You're
we also never wore car seats.
You're too hardened.
Yeah, you are like.
I agree that
you're a bad motherfucker.
I
you know?
hear your stories, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, she told one we can't even tell.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit.
I mean, and I mean this with love,
Do you
but
want your kids to have adversity?
you are a bad, like you're
Let them
arguing.
come to my hometown.
It's literally like arguing with John Rambo about why he loves war. So, it's like you can't. She's a bad motherfucker.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I don't want my Tommy and Max.
You said something today I can't even talk about the person on the thing getting hit the thing, and you were like, I hope it's not blank. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. I don't want them to be that hard. My God.
A little bit, though.
This is a big thing of like, oh my God, my wife is getting embarrassed in front of the other moms. Like, that wasn't even a thing. First of all, we were lucky if we even had a car because my dad had 5 DUIs. My mom never even learned how to drive. Guess what? The WRX is fine.
I know it's fine.
I see that point too. Okay, I get that too.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a big problem. I'm bringing it up. Calm down, bro. Joking around.
You were bullying me.
Is it time to get out of here?
Yeah.
I think it's time. Let's plug some stuff. Butler, plug your wife's
Absolutely.
massage parlor.
Don't talk about plugging his wife. He went way too far.
Health and Motion Chiropractic.
Yeah,
Definitely check out my wife, Dr. Rocker.
Don't
You can
check
check her
out
out
his
at drrocker.com.
She's a Oscar award-winning harpist.
Yeah, not Oscar. She
Yeah.
Recorded harpist, absolutely. Yeah.
She made her own harp. She carved it.
She did, yeah.
Can we get her on to play some harp one day?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I definitely bring in the CD. I could definitely.
Yeah, bring the CD in. We'll jam that shit.
Angel hands.
Maybe I'll do a remix.
Yeah.
Lay some beats on it. Sam, plug your podcast and anything else.
Semanticspodcast.com. You can sign up for my Patreon, patreon.com/semantics. Maybe one day we'll get Tom on it. I'm trying to maybe get him on the cruise, like sporadically, just jump around the corner and get him with a mic and just be like, all right, you're on my show now.
Yeah, I like that.
That's been bad for me in the past.
I know. I know.
I'm doing cruise podcasts.
He's talking about dicks and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife.
We'll see how that works
it
out.
must be a mom thing because my wife's like, remember when I cried getting rid of my convertible?
No, because she
had to get the SUV.
Yeah.
And she did cry.
Uh-huh.
Same convertible I puked all in. I laughed when she cried. I'm like, good. Now you know what I feel like every night. Pain.
If you want to go on the next cruise, Tom and Dan Cruise 2020, it'll probably be our last. So book that one. It's a different ship. It's got a
plan
go-kart
on
track.
killing ourselves on that one.
Dude, the private island has a freaking water park.
I always laugh with. I mean, I've not tried to not sell the cruise, but Tony will say things like, "The water slides they're putting them in today," and I'm like, "What are they doing?" You know, like a little put the pole on, a little scotch tape. You know, like you know what I mean? Like I'm like,
don't go down the Durstuka.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Steer clear of something.
Yeah, I'll stay near the swim up bar. That looks safe enough.
Oh yeah.
I'll be checking the lamp though in the pool to make sure there aren't any exposed wires. You know?
So go to that and use our sponsors. Are all on TomandDan.com.
Yes, sir.
And if you're looking, there's still people that post like, "Hey, where can I find a good realtor?" or "How do I do my mortgage?" I'm surprised all the time. It's all on our website. You can go to the hookups page too, because there's a lot of new hookups that
cleaning services, plumbing.
Yeah, Her Majesty. I love those guys. In fact, they don't just do the studio now. I hired them to do my house because they do such a great job, and I love the way that they make our. In fact, our mortgage, like Streamline Mortgage Solutions. When Brian walked in, we had a meeting a couple of days ago. He liked the way that our place smelled, and that's all because of Her Majesty. He was like, everything's kind of like intermingling. He's like, it smells amazing in here. And oh, by the way, if you are a realtor, and you can reach out to work with Brian as well, right?
Yeah. He's looking. He'll help you out, and there's tons of the hookups page has tons of hookups. And by the way, they all give discounts to Tom and Dan listeners, so it's
Emerald Plumbing's on there.
advantageous. Yeah, there's we got an electrician coming on.
Gillis Automotive.
Gillis Automotive.
Yeah, Gillis is good.
If you need a mechanic, he's really good. He's right there on Winter Park.
Yeah,
so there's a bunch
just
of stuff.
search on there. It changes. A lot of bars on there.
Our watering holes. We got a bunch of bar partners and stuff.
We love those guys. More than anything, though, we love you guys, the listeners. You're the best. And for BDMs, we'll see you on Monday with brand new shows. Do we have anything, or is it just us on Monday?
For the BDM show, just
Are
us.
we bringing Super Dave back?
We do have an ACT with somebody else from the radio
Yeah,
world.
we do. We have that scheduled, so that will be going on.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it.
Guys, we love you, and we will see you next week.